The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others.
This one's because of me too.
Pacific414 for Pop Talk is here. Join the conversation. We've got Baron, Orman Tagge, Cashmoney007 and even Mike too. Pop culture, entertainment, news and reviews. Discussions are had, opinions made. From the panel to the chat, everyone is welcome here. Reactions, watch parties and special guests. We like to have a good time. Pacific414 for Pop Talk is underway. Pull up a seat, we're inviting to stay. Articles, collectibles, reviews, you say. Baron, Cash, and Mike bring the fun tonight. Now sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Don't forget to like or comment below. We almost forgot to share out the show. Pacific414 for Pop Talk is one of a kind. It's true. One, two, it's true. Relax and enjoy the show.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to your Wednesday edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk, along with Baron, Orman Tagge, Cashmoney007. I am your host, Mike, and tonight we have a special guest with us who talks to fellow creators and non-creators. His name is Daramouthe, or you can call him Dara for short, and he has his own live stream that he does each and every day over on his YouTube and Rumble channel called Daramouthe's Corner, where again, like I said, he talks to different creators and non-creators, and you know, they do what we do: sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. And he is backstage right now, but before we bring him on, I want to find out from my co-host, how are they doing? Cash, Baron, how are you doing?
Well, I saw Baron, and before I saw Baron, I was doing better, but now that I've seen, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, same. I
am reminded that Cash is still not talking to Baron. Baron is still not talking to Cash.
No, we're not talking, but it's the same with me. I was doing great. Then I looked in the mirror, saw Baron, and my day went to hell. So.
Oh, that's what you get when you have two cranky old fans on the stream. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Here,
the show we need.
Cash, grab your 9-iron. There's somebody on the lawn.
Yeah. Here's your donut.
Forbidden donut. It's not evil donut. It's forbidden donut. Come on, Cash, get it right.
Evil.
Oh, Mike, tell him to get it right.
It is the forbidden donut, Cash. You know that. You're the one. You're the one for several months who had underneath your name.
No, that never happened.
The forbidden donut.
I decided to change it for now.
Yeah, it's kind of like me. You know, I've never gone out there and tried to be Cash. You know, never.
I don't want to be Baron.
Yeah. Okay. That says otherwise, Baron.
You know, yeah, exactly. I think I'd make a quality Klingon, so I'm proud of that. That's great.
Yeah, you would actually. You would. Kapla.
Mike makes a great Klingon too, though.
Well, I always had that Klingon attitude. Thinking of adding a third saying to the channel.
He's the greatest ever.
And of course, our guest is also here in the chat.
Wondering
But,
what the hell
gentlemen,
they're doing.
what have you been up to since we last talked?
Ooh, well,
Worked a little bit on that project he told me to do. The
nice.
super
Yeah.
secret project I'm working on. So, I put something in our chat. Did you read it? No. Do you even look at
I
our chat?
haven't
No.
read it yet.
How do you
I
get it?
haven't. I was
No, I'm
making
talking to Cat.
sure
I'm
that the
talking to
stream
Cat.
for today
I saw
was
it.
ready.
Yeah,
There.
I saw it
Yeah,
earlier.
I'm yelling at. I know you're a busy man. I'm talking to Cat who doesn't really do anything except get in arguments online
Sure.
with videos and stuff
More
like that,
fake
calling everybody
news.
goobers.
Fake news.
Yeah,
Fake
goobers.
news.
Goobers.
No, I've been watching some sports recently a little bit, and also trying to finally finish that crazy ass game Tunic. I think I'm at the end, but
Tunic?
Tunic. Yep.
Are you ready to throw your controller through
No,
your TV?
I want to, but I'm not going to. That game is unfortunately rage-inducing. I think sadists actually made that game. I really do. I think some sadists.
Like Cuphead?
Yeah, Cuphead is the same kind of rage you feel. Yes.
Well,
Yeah, but at least I completed Cuphead, so I can say that.
You did.
yeah, I mean, kind of like you, I've been watching sports as well. I mean, the Grand Sumo last of the year is taking place halfway through. And Takayasu, the guy I root for, well, he's doing pretty good. He lost yesterday, unfortunately, in one of the bouts. I think he's 2 losses and 5 wins, 6 wins now. So, but yeah, the missus really gets riled up for it. And I'm sitting there and she's like I am when I'm watching rugby. So, not that I don't like sumo. I do like sumo, but I just don't get worked up like she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, I don't know if you saw the news today, Cash, but MLB has reached an agreement with not only Netflix, but also NBC and ESPN for broadcasting games.
They only
ESPN's going to have control of MLB.TV.
Oh, kiss
well,
bye. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those. The problem is if they're going to put stuff on ESPN Plus, and if you don't have the Spectrum package that allows you to have free Hulu now, it's really funny. Hulu wasn't free before. Now it's free, and so is ESPN Plus with the package of Spectrum. I'm telling you, Disney begs Spectrum, please, we can't do this ourselves anymore.
But they're still at odds with YouTube.
Yes. Well, wait, I thought they got agreement recently. I thought I saw something. They got agreement finally. Yeah, I think they did. I thought they did. Yeah.
Yeah, but with
I
Disney
hadn't seen
having
anything on that.
Disney having full control with all that, you're going to have somebody in the office going, "Yeah, we're going to have to change some phrases here. Like, instead of using switch header, call it a poly header.
Well,
okay, keep sensitive."
If you have, as long as people have access to this and they can show all other games, it's fine. But like if you're even Sportsnet LA, they don't, because of Apple TV and they get rights to certain things, they might show like premier games of like Dodgers and some other team. It's like, oh, you can't watch that. You got to get Apple TV Plus. And you're like,
hey, Dara, this is really interesting to hear in the backstage, isn't it? Just babbling like that.
It's what we do, Baron.
I know. I'm teasing.
Yeah, you tease. You big tease you. But speaking of our guest, Dara of Daramouthe's Corner, let's go ahead and welcome him in. Dara, welcome to the show.
What's up, man?
I wasn't
again.
Yes, again. I feel like it's no. Thank you. Please, no. 10 more minutes of that. But I feel like I should make a few clarifications first before we go any further. First, it's DaraChat is the name of the show. Daramouthe's Corner is the name. Is what X is. Never. I don't call myself Daramouthe's Corner. There's a good story behind that, and I will tell that later. And next one is it's Dara or Daramouthe. Just that's how I've pronounced it, and during when I do my pay it forward streams, people do get it wrong, but I'm like, that's just funny, and I go along with it. But those are the 2 clarifications I want to make before we go.
Daramouthe. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Try to have Tag as your last name there, because how many times is Taggy?
Yep.
I almost feel like saying tagged, but then it'd be wrong, and then it's just like I don't know what he's trying to go for here.
Tag, you're it. That's what it is. Tag, you're it.
I feel like it's a French word, tagué. Welcome to
Oh, I like that.
Tagge.
He's giving me some
Tagge.
tagué.
Tagge.
Oh yes, a restaurant.
Yeah, Ben
Tagge.
Orman Tagge.
The Baron has come in. Sir Tagué has come here. Oh,
That's right.
You see, it's all come in and then.
there you go.
Orman Tagge.
Then
Tagge.
Chester Knight from Mortal Kombat starts playing. So yeah.
Mortal Kombat. That's how it would go.
But how are you doing today, good sir?
Oh, I'm doing well, I'm doing as wonderful as one can be, because next week I am off the full week. So I'm going to enjoy that time off. Because I do work a full-time job. So, you kind of have to take time off yourself when you have the ability to. It's like I gave in 3 days to get 8. So I'm like, yes. Papa's gonna make it a week. But I'll still be posting shorts out there, because I have plenty of shorts to post. I'm just not streaming. Because honestly, I can do that. Some content creators can't. I'm a content creator again because I don't rely on content creation to pay my bills. And yeah.
Nobody really should, man. It takes a long time to get to that point.
Well,
speak for yourself. I get my 2 cents a month.
2 pennies. Hey, what was the saying? A penny saved is a penny earned. I think that's pretty good so far. All right. 2 pennies. 2 pennies. Especially since they stopped printing them. So there you go.
Yep. As of last week, they actually start printing them. But
yeah.
My first question to you is, when did you start content creation?
Well, long time ago in a faraway galaxy. No. That would be a really good story. Star Wars and all that. No, it was when I started posting stuff or making the post stuff, it was in May of 2024. And obviously if you go to my YouTube, you can easily see that. But it was in May of 2024 that I started doing it. And it was just posting recorded videos. Because what I did was I used StreamYard. It was a lot different back then. It wasn't like this sophisticated as it is now. But they allow you to record video on StreamYard. And so I just used that. I just recorded with an icon and then just posted that out there. But I didn't use it beyond that point. Yes.
And there is your YouTube channel where you have several videos. You have the shorts, obviously, and you also have your live streams that you do on both YouTube and Rumble.
Yes. Yes, I do. Yeah, and that's of course some of those videos are live streams where Rumble Studio had a hiccup, and so I had to download them from Rumble to bring them over. So you'll see plenty of those. But the other ones, like starting from the I think it's that one. No, roll up a bit. Yeah, from that one that your mouse was just on, not that one, but the one below it, and down, that would be using local no, not locals, but StreamYard to record and then post it on YouTube and Rumble. So
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean, because I've had some issues myself where we'll stream on one platform, won't stream on the other. So I'll take the recording here on StreamYard and just upload it.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just recorded it in StreamYard and then I downloaded it and then uploaded it to YouTube and Rumble. What was it? But yeah, that was pretty much that point. I didn't start the live streaming section though until like August of that year. So, because I couldn't, because Rumble, you had to have 5 followers in order to live stream, and I didn't. I just ended up paying for the the $10 a month pro plan thing.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And at the time you started doing it, you paid for it, and they required 5. I know at the time I started, it was you had to have 25 followers before you can even live stream over there.
Mm, No, I just remember it being 5, so it must have been later after that point of that case. But I do know that YouTube also has its end, where in order to post links in the description, you either had to give them like a full video of yourself or identification or something like that, because you couldn't post links and YouTube starting out without giving them some sort of identification verification sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube has its YouTube has its own ends too. For those who are just to be clear, while Rumble has its end, YouTube has its end as well.
Every platform is different.
Yes. So, yeah, those are the you can keep scrolling down and you'll see like the differences in the thumbnail and all that stuff. So it took a while to get to that point, but Mr. R made the framework of the thumbnail that I use now. I've changed it up a bit, but it's still been pretty much.
Yeah, it looks sharp. I like the look of that.
The idea was I really I saw like it was like an old Barnum Bailey poster, and I said something sort of like that, but I'm not a creator. Like I use Canva, but I don't have that. I don't, at least I don't know how to do that creativeness. So he being a beginner at sort of what he was using, he used it and he gave it to me, and then I've just been using that template ever since. I've wanted to do like ask somebody about thumbnail stuff, but if it works, as the saying goes, if it works, don't fix it. Right?
Yeah, if it's not broken, why fix it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but beyond
and that's the thing, when you start off your channel and you have, an evolution of how the thumbnails start to look.
Yeah.
And then, you meet people along the way, like you and I have met Pat Steven, and he's helped give people pointers as far as making thumbnails. And
well, yes, Fat Steven did, but I never took any of that advice because I was like, he uses GIMP and I don't use GIMP. So I'm like, okay. He does a lot more than I do. Let's just put it that way. He does a lot more. But
he is obsessed.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of content creators out there that do a lot more thumbnails, and I'm just like, if it works for me, it's good, right? Like my favorite color is red. Obviously, the thumbnails you see now are ones I did on my own, and then once it got to the current one, that was done by someone else that I currently use. But before then, it was just basically something I put together. So. You'll once you keep rolling down, you'll get to see like, oh wow, that's how it started. Wow, man.
Which isn't a bad way to start off.
Yeah. Obviously, because obviously I don't know how to do that creative art thing. So you usually rely on other people. But then again, if you're on X, you get a lot of these. I'd like to get a commission, and so you have to be careful with that.
Mm-hmm. And as I'm scrolling along here, I do see that you've streamed with some folks that we've had on Pop Talk here, and Ryan Rodrathe and his Game Land, of course, Arwen, and
Arwen's fun. She's a Southern belle.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but yeah, as you stated before, I talk to people who are and aren't creators, because it's not something that I've seen other creators do. I've not seen other creators talk to people who aren't content creators. And there's an understandable reason for that, right? Like there's a trust and all that sort of stuff. But it really is a missed opportunity because more than likely that's where you'll get your sometimes hardest challenge. And sometimes as a person who's doing conversational stuff, you kind of need that challenge to improve. At least from my perspective, because I've had people where you had to do the whole conversation and they did very little, but that didn't stop me from continually trying. So, yeah, and then that's you just use green caps. Yeah.
And there is someone here who has worked in radio, and he gave me great advice, and that's Baron. And
Nice.
I can remember, apologizing to him one time when I was on his show after we had first gotten to know each other, and he says, "No, that's what I want from a guest. I want the guests to be able to talk." Just like when we've had Jet Sparks on, he's talked and joined the conversation with us, depending on the topic that we're talking about, and as has Shane.
Yeah.
EJ, Ronnie G and his turtles. Yeah, I mean, that was always kind of a funny thing because people would see me on the Kings, the primetime Kings of YouTube, and they, of course, like before the show we were talking, and also doing the ramp up to talking with you, the shenanigans, constantly talking shenanigans and opining about the stuff. So when I was doing Baron After Dark, I just would ask questions. I'm a big fan of talk shows. Larry King on radio, he was the king. He should never have gone to CNN, as I always say. But also the others, and so Johnny Carson, the greats.
Yeah.
And I like, so I learned off of that, and I tried to ask the questions or whatever to get people to talk. And it wasn't just Mike; it was others that came after the show about, "Oh, I'm sorry, I feel like I basically." Took over the show or whatever. It says, that's what I want. That you want. This is a different Baron. This is the interview Baron. Yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to have dogs barking in the background, but it's still me. I want you to talk because it's not about me, even though it's my show. It's about you. And I try to give that comfort to people as they're coming in. It's like, just we're going to talk, and more so you. And kind of like almost even like Joe Rogan as he's doing now. It's just a conversation. I mean, I don't understand why all the hate from people to Joe Rogan, but have you ever watched the show these people that's doing it? Now, if you don't like his style, it's one thing, but all it is conversation, and that's what we need more of. So
yeah, well, Joe Rogan, sure, but I still he does kind of lean heavily on certain subjects, which kind of plays into what he enjoys, whether it be the DMT stuff or the alien stuff and all that. So there is that kind of thing. There may be certain subjects that I lean to just because of the platform I use, or certain situations I've seen as someone who's come into the content creator sphere, just kind of off the broad, like whatever. But beyond that point, it really is just about the conversation that you have with somebody. Because the sad part about it is that it can be quite it can almost seems like it can be an easy thing to get into. But the sad part about it is not many people can get into it, but there's no written manual for it. There are certain things like, you can bring up small question stuff or whatever. But the issue of it is like at the end of the day, a conversation requires just you and the other person, and you're going to have to figure out, okay, how do you talk to that person?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, you can sit down, have your notes, and that's the one thing, like Mike has his notes for what he wants to bring up to you and such, but you have to be fast and loose and call audibles along the way, because someone will say will all of a sudden perk interest. Is like, okay, let's diverge onto there, and be quick. Don't be so serious or on topic on the notes that you have, because you're missing great opportunities and great stories, and that's what I love. I love great stories.
Well, and I
a good story.
Yeah, no, and I understand it too, but I also think it should just let the conversation be, because I think if you put out there like you want to talk to interesting people or funny people, whatever, you kind of limit who you'll talk to, right? When you start putting out, like when coming from just from my perspective, right, and that that is what it is. If you put a description on, okay, I would like to talk to interesting people, or I'd like to talk to funny people, or I'd like to talk to, you're already putting limiting indicators on who you're going to talk to, because some people are not going to think they're interesting, and I've come across that. Some people are not going to think they have something worth talking about and all that stuff. and you're gonna be putting limiting indicators on that just by saying those things. Because people say words don't hurt. Oh, you're not really being honest with yourself, because they can in
Yeah.
small ways and big ways, but you have
Mhm.
to be willing to pay attention to that if you're willing to.
See, I got this funny thing. I believe everybody's interesting to talk to.
Mm,
So, I mean, when I was doing Baron, not only was I talking to YouTube content people, but I
mm,
was talking to people who would come into the chat,
mm,
that were in the chat and such, and bring them on. So they weren't really necessarily uh, into doing YouTube per
mm,
se. But everybody has a story, and
mm,
there's something that you hear, that this person does that, or whatever. That'd be interesting to talk to,
mm,
and just the fact that you just have a couple of notes which help get you started, the warm up,
mm,
and then let it go, let it flow, and hopefully don't have to encourage too much to get people going. Because, like I said, I believe everybody's interesting out there. I don't
mm,
care who it is. I'd love to talk to them.
mm,
And even if there are nobody, right? Nobody's heard of this person,
mm,
and it's like, well, just come on, let's just talk, let's have some fun.
mm,
And again, that's what it's about. It's like I don't search for quote unquote interesting people, people like you're saying, our
mm.
dogs that bark, the long suffering scum home. And of
Right,
course, they all want to congregate with me, so it's have a hard time. Then she comes home, they start barking. But
right.
but that's just it. It's just like when you're going to a party and all that, you're listening to what the people are talking about,
Mm,
gauge them, and then you're able to partake in a conversation and make sure it's not about you,
mm,
it's about them, because you want to know about them,
mm,
Mhm.
whoever they are. I mean, if you had a fancy party, I'd probably end up talking to the guy over in the corner there with the mop who's waiting to clean up afterwards. It's like, hey, how's it going?
yeah.
Because they got interesting stories,
Mm,
but
yeah.
they're quote unquote nobodies.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of people who believe they're nobody, but I'm here to tell you that you can't you can't be sure of it
Hmm.
unless you're willing to at least step out on the edge and find that out. Because
Right.
people will dismiss themselves outright before they give themselves a chance, which is kind of hard in its own right? Because it's asking for a
Right.
leap of faith.
Yep.
And a lot of people aren't, and even for me, right? I have talked to other content creators, and they're like, it's so hard to schedule people on and all this stuff.
Hmm.
And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just like I put DMs out there, and some people answer, some people don't. It
Mhm.
basically is. It basically is. I guess in the way it basically is like cold calling, but you don't you don't start off with like, I don't know, some whatever you would get with like a corporate speak, whatever. You just like, hey, this is what
Hmm.
the thing is, this is what it's about, and then you just kind of like, if not, that's okay, no pressure and all that stuff. Then you just walk off,
Right.
because
Hmm.
you can't force someone to say yes, but you can certainly give them an opportunity to see what you do, and then from there that could lead into
Right.
that yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
like when I start off DMs to folks that I'd like to have on, I try to start it off first and foremost by saying I'd like to invite you to our show
Mm,
during this particular week if you're available.
mm. Yeah, and a good piece of advice I've always found out is that keep it short and sweet. Don't
hmm.
I've done the elongated process uh of putting a paragraph, and that was wrong. I learned that the hard way. So you just do short and sweet. And I kind of do sort of have a template, but I don't always use the same template. So I do put something a bit different almost every time out there.
Well,
Hmm.
that's why a lot of these other content creators, smaller, bigger, whatever, or some people are out there and saying, "Oh, well, they're never going to grow and they're never going to do this." It's like, no, you don't know that,
Yeah.
and how do you know what they don't have to offer or what they do have to offer? So people, unfortunately, in all these different communities, have that elitist
Mm,
attitude that they already think they're better. It's like, if you guys want to come together, you have to have communication. You got to
mm.
talk. You got to work on stuff, and then you build from there.
Yeah. Well, one I think the for one of the part of why I did this too is because I want I'm not tied to any niche or sphere. I actually wanted
Hmm.
to be actually wanted to be someone who went out there and broke those spheres. I'm like, why do we have to be stuck to like talking about Star Trek or Star Wars or talking about
Hmm.
politics or whatever? I'd rather go out there with the hammer and open all those spheres and say, there's more to life than this. I get if you have something you enjoy, whatever, and obviously with content creation that you try to find a niche where you can be individualistic. But I'm sorry to tell you, there's already 1,000 other people doing the same thing you're trying to do. Gaming, like look at gaming, right? You go to any platform. How many gamers do you already see on that platform playing some of a similar game or not? Like this whole thing is an ocean, and you're trying to go between people's boats and their wares. It's really just like, just enjoy the ride, because that's most likely what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Just have fun. That's the big thing.
Have fun and be entertaining and so on. But yeah, everybody can have a story, and people that think, oh, this person's not that interesting, oh, they don't have this and whatever. No, it's just that's the attitude a lot of people still have in these communities, and that is a big problem. Instead of saying, but I get it also that there can be problems where you bring people on and then it doesn't go that well.
Yeah.
Or people are supposed to support each other and they don't. There's always problems with these communities. But then there's other people who are like, hey man, I want to work with you. Let's talk again. Hey, I had a great time on the show, and then they mean it, and then they want to come back and whatever.
Yeah. Well, and also the thing should be, it's not just of other people, it's people of themselves that do it to themselves.
Right.
I've had many people say, like, I'm anxious or nervous, or I don't think I have anything worth talking about. And like, don't throw yourself under the bus yet,
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you're not wrong that, and I'll give you a good story. So there was a group that was going, I'm not going to say name names, but there was a group that was going to have me on their show, and we had scheduled the day like a month in advance, because we're trying to find a day, their schedule, usually that's what you do is first I'm flexible with my schedule. I know what my day is because I have a full-time job. So I know what my day is, but I don't know the other person. So we kind of go back and forth like, will this work? Will that work? And then you kind of whittle down to the point you agree on. And we got there. So the day comes a week out or whatever. And, it's just kind of like, okay, this is that. And it's one of the things is that, I was looking forward to it. But the problem became is that, like, not even less than 24 hours before the actual show was going to happen, that one of the people, because this was a group, and so one of the people of that group decided to DM me on X and say, hey, there's a content creator we want to have on. This is the only they can do it. Can we reschedule for another time and all that stuff? And I was like, at first I was like, sure, like what day, whatever. But then I was like, hold up 1 second. If they're willing to do this to me now, then the next time they can do just the same thing. Of course, they did say that, like, it's rare, it happens rarely, but I'm like, no. And I was saying this was me to myself, this was not to them. And I did like a little thing to them later on, like in a DM, like, look, what guarantees me that I'll be able to be on next time if you can't even hold to this time? And they eventually, one of the other people in the group told me who the content creator was, and I know who that content creator was, and they are considered big. But I'm like, one, you're willing to kick me out for someone else, and two, I don't have a guaranteed day after this fact. So what's work it? That's what I don't like, and that's why I'm not going to show to other people. If I schedule you on for the day, unless an emergency happens or you're like, I don't want to do it, then that day is yours. It is no one else's. I've had, on a rare occasion, I've double booked, and it's been by accident. But beyond that point, I just don't feel like if you're gonna have a guest, then don't treat him that way. Even if it's for another big, even if Jesus himself is saying, I'm gonna come on this day, and you have someone else who said, look, Jesus, I already have this person here. I said I was gonna stick with them. I'll come back to you, because you've already given them your word. What is no more important than your word? If you're willing to give that up,
Exactly.
then you're willing to show how kind of shallow you are. And I get it in the content creator sphere. You try to hook up with people who are bigger names, whatever. And I'm not saying I'm against that, because maybe once in a while that'd be nice. But I'm gonna treat them just the same as I'm gonna treat like Mike or any of those people on the list you saw. No one has higher status than who I've had on. because look, you want a great equalizer. Guess what? All of us are gonna either end up 6 feet under or dust in the wind. That's the great equalizer, and so your status means nothing after that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I put it.
No, exactly. It's like I said, I said many times that, and it sounds cruel at first, but then you get into the meat of it. It's like, I'm not here to be your friend. The reason why I say that is, if I were to bend and not be true to myself as I'm on the air, right?
Yeah.
I'm not being me. I am giving you what I am. Now, if you like what you see, we can be friends. But if you don't like, it's like, well, there's other channels out there. There's other people you can be with. But I am not going to change who I am or what I am to placate you, per se. That's not how a friendship, that's not how viewership, anything like that works. And when you're not being true to yourself, how are you going to be true to others? And so that's basically my motto. Is a motto. If I can talk right. Laugh it up, fuzzball. That's my motto as I go along with all this. And again, like you were saying too, is like, once you got somebody in there, is some guy just starting out and only has a measly 23 viewers, and I use measly as it doesn't matter, because those 23 could shoot up to 1,000 in no time. Are someone as big as Doomcock? It's like, well, in my eyes, they're equal when it comes around to a scheduling. It's like, okay, I got you locked in here unless something happens. I mean, like you said, true emergencies. And if someone else wants in and they say they want to have that day, no, we're going to have to work around it, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I got another guest. Who do you got? This person. Oh, they're nobody. No, there's somebody to me. They got a story. And I want to hear their story.
And it's just like, if you're willing to break your word one time, what's to stop it from a next? It's like a lie. It gets easier over time to keep saying it, but sooner or later you're gonna get called on it. Hey there, Ronnie. But yeah, I didn't appreciate it, and then one of their crew people decided to come back and say, hey, you know what? This is the person we're gonna have. Chill, cool it. And I'm just like, who the fudge do you think you are that you're more important on the map? I didn't say this to them. It was more a thought in my head. It's like, who the hell do you think you are to see your more higher status than even what I am? I'm not trying to placate that part, but I'm just trying to say it was just ridiculous to come and say, hey, this person's coming on. Why don't you just cool it? I'm just like, there's no reason to even do any part of, maybe later on in life, but any part of the show during this point in time, it's not worth doing with, because you're about status more than you're about than having people on just to converse with them. And I get it. Again, coming back to more shows, not just have content creators on, and there's an understandability with that. But I've built my show on the risk I take with it, with having different people on who may not talk at all. And by doing that, I lessen the risk, if that makes sense. I build on risky to lessen the risky. If that makes sense at all.
You got to take a chance, because how else do you know? I mean, you think someone's going to be timid and they're not going to talk much, and you're going back in your head, okay, how am I going to? And then you just say, hey, how's it going? And that's it. That's the last thing you say until the end of the show. It's like, boy, I didn't think they were a talker. And then the same thing the other way around. It's like, oh, they're a good talker on YouTube. Let's get them on the show. They come on the show. It's like, yep, nope,
yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Kind of like Cash.
And I'll be honest with
throwing
you.
me in.
I'll be honest with you, Dara. When I came onto your show, I was trying to read the room and gauge, okay, what's the atmosphere like here? So I knew how far I could go with my personality. Not take it too far, but keep it somewhere where, okay, you're still getting Mike.
Yeah, you should just play part of that stream just to kind of show off how that went for you. that'd probably be the easiest way of doing that.
I'll be honest with you. The reason why I didn't is because of the way YouTube is with reused content.
Oh, well, I understand that. I would have been like, I don't care if you use it, and that's express permission by me, YouTube, because I would have made well. That kind of shorts out shorts then, because I make shorts of my streams of people within it. So am I reusing my content in shorts? To a degree, yes. So then
Yeah.
again, I guess it would be banned because I'm reusing my own content. That'd
I
be
think I think they get an exception to shorts because they want
well,
shorts.
oh,
So I
okay.
think you're safe there.
Well, I don't care. I'm on multiple platforms, so screw them. But no, and that's kind of attitude you have to have with all
Yeah.
platforms. It's like
Hmm.
you should never let a platform own your stuff, and that means by
Hmm.
being on only one platform only.
Right.
That's that you want the real danger of content creation. Be an idiot and be only on one platform.
Yeah, it's not the best idea. People also latch on to these things like, oh, this was popular on TikTok, so I'm just going to do shorts for my own channel and that's how it'll grow. And it's like, no, you just want to limit yourself. Stop.
Right.
Mhm.
Don't do that. But people
Yep.
do that. And,
Yeah.
or they also say, oh, I can't grow. I can't do this. I can't do this. It's like, have you tried? Do you talk more? Are things more entertaining? Or somebody goes, hey, what did you think of that topic? It's like, well, your guest could have talked more, and you need to explain to people about this
Mhm.
topic that they probably don't, not everybody knows about, say of a video game or a
Mhm.
movie or something. Maybe a lot of people haven't heard about it, so you've got to work on making interesting and you need to, the host needs to prepare the guests, I would say, especially if they're going to have a certain topic they're going to spend an hour and a half talking about or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'll see streams and you're like, man, this could be way more interesting. Somebody's, oh wow, this guy's like, what, say 30,000 followers on Twitch. Okay, but
Mhm.
he's just playing, say, Grand Theft Auto 5 and he's not really talking. He's got to, why is there only 9 people watching this right now? He could do more to make this more interesting. But
Mhm.
in his mind, oh, well, I already have 30,000 followers, so it doesn't matter, and I'll do what I want. And so you say to somebody, hey, it's your stream, do what you want. And then they take it the wrong way. And it's like, yeah, I'm not interested in watching this stream anymore because what's wrong with this
Right.
person now?
There's a lot of wrong with a lot of people, but no, look,
Yes.
if you're gonna ask me how to better your content to make it like get seen a lot, you're asking the wrong person because I have
Right.
no idea the hell. I do use AI. I've said that many times before. I use AI to help with stuff, but
Yeah.
beyond that point, I only use like YouTube's tagging system because that's just to help direct. But beyond that point, look, I have a full-time job that pays for my stuff.
Right.
I know what I do is a bit of a maybe a bit of a detriment to like the growth factor, but I've still grown regardless of all those points. Almost every content creator wants to put out there like this is what you have to do, blah blah blah. You know
Right.
what?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna be dead one day. Do you think all that matters? Like, it's just about the conversation with the individual. It's not about. Yeah, it would be nice if I had 1,000 views. It would be nice if I got noticed by big top people. It would be nice if I made all the money. But I can't take a diddly squat of that with me when it's my time to go. And I've only got so much time, and I'd rather. I just had on my 300th guest yesterday. Or
Awesome.
Wow.
no,
Congratulations.
wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Wow.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, Bailey. Yes. Um, and of course, it does happen that a few of those guests on my list have blocked me. Don't know why. Didn't get a conversation out of that, but oh well. We're all adults here. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Not fair.
There's the perpetual child.
Yeah,
if
he's
you
a,
can,
he's a big
yeah.
man, baby.
If you can be honest, that shows a great set of maturity.
I'm the oldest one here and probably the most immature.
Hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure I've seen older just as immature. So you're amongst the
Well,
group.
the funny thing is too, like sometimes somebody's nice enough to have an open panel, and it's like, oh, well, we're talking about this certain subject, and they're just sitting there with their thumb up their butt or whatever. It seems that way, and it's like, well, why are you even on the panel? Like, I hate to be mean, but you don't want to add anything to the conversation. Why are you here? So you just figure they're here to cause problems.
Don't knock until you try to cash.
Oh, well, I'd like to go back on that and make a distinction. Though there are people, right? You bring somebody on, and maybe you're talking about things they don't have much investment in, right? Like a lot of as far as I've seen, a lot of content creators talking like the 24/7 news stuff. It's not exactly 24/7 news, but it's kind of in the general idea of like you hello Miss Tage. You look at the what they call the old media, right? You look at CNN and all stuff, and they're usually the 24/7 news. Well, now you sort of have that with the independent current stuff where it's 24 news. Like, let's keep on the date of like, oh look, EA has done this thing, or hey Jason, how you doing? Or let's talk about the politics of, oh, this thing just happened. Or at a certain point, it all gets kind of dreary because it's just 24/7 spit out. And you have hundreds of thousands of years of human history laying before you. And you're only worried about the current. Now, there are some things about the current setup to worry about. I'm not dismissing that. But the general you is more worried about the current setup than all the other stuff, because it is what it is. We've sort of been trained like seals to gobble up the new stuff without remembering that there's a lot of old stuff there too. Some worth listening to, some worth not. Just depends. Right. Hey Jason, how you doing?
Good to see Jace here tonight. And Dara, I did have a question I wanted to ask you. Who's asking? Your...
Oh, sorry, I couldn't. I have to wait for the bubble to make a noise, otherwise I can't know who's asking the question.
But I wanted to find out from you, who are your biggest inspirations as far as life, and you help carry it into your real life and your YouTube life and creator life.
Well, I mean, when I remember when someone asked me like what was sort of like the inspiration for the show, I was just like, well, I explained like earlier, like I didn't see other content creators do it, but I've also stated in the past, like, I think the two biggest proponents were like Whose Line Is It Anyway and the Craig Ferguson show.
Nice. Great choices.
Well, and the main point for both of those is improv. Improv was a key component in both of them, but they were just like, you would watch Craig Ferguson show, and he could in some way, he read books, a lot of stuff, like, so that's something I haven't obtained to, most likely. Well, I have read books, but not to the attainment he has. But there is that sort of like he could talk about anything with his guests, even though it's on a short period of time. And most of the time, you have a guest on there that's there for like movie or TV show, whatever, and they'd never get to it. And I'm like, that's what I'd rather go for. Forget all the other stuff. Like you go down this trail of, so it's like you are lollygagging down a trail of conversation, and you don't even remember how you started. You may know there's an ending, but you don't know how it'll end. And that's the best part. And of course, Whose Line Is Way is just because I always enjoyed watching Scenes from a Hat, because that was like the purest form of improv right there.
Okay, my question.
Sir. Yes, sir.
The British one with Clive Anderson, or the American one with
Drew Carey. Yep.
Oh,
that was the one I grew up with.
They're all funny, but
they're all great. They're all great, but don't get me wrong. But I had the Clive Anderson. I like those because those were the first ones I saw.
I only saw the Drew Carey era, which was during like ABC, CW, all that. There's that Aisha Tyler one. That's sort of all right, but when you're still just one person, like Drew Carey, and
she wasn't bad. She was. It's pretty much the same people. So
she's the lesser of the three.
Yeah,
she has a good personality. Some of her, but she's not as good as Drew.
But when you had the personalities of Drew Carey, you had Ryan Stiles and Colin, and then Wayne Brady. That's what made the show.
Yes.
And whether it be Greg Proops, Chip Eston, or Brad Sherwood, or Kathy Greenwood, or any celebrity. Well, maybe not any. I think the one big one that was the best one was when Robin Williams came on.
He was great.
Oh yes,
that was fire. Like every time, because that was probably during when he was doing 1 Hour Photo, because he had the blonde hair. But that was the most fire, because that was getting the guy who's done improv a majority of his life, and you're getting him on that show. I was surprised he even got on that show, right? Because he was obviously he was on the he did appear on the Clive Anderson show, early on in the years, but he was on Who's Line anyway, so there's that connection. But he was on Who's Line. I'm just like, that's the quintessential point, and you didn't want it to end. You're like, bring him back on, like have Rob Williams back on, but he's a star, so
yeah. I mean, with that episode, I wanted to see the unedited, uninterrupted version.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm right there with you.
Well, the one guy I always enjoyed, and it was pretty much the Clive Anderson era, was Mike McShane. I thought he was always great. He was just insane as well, going out there and doing his bits. And it's like, yeah, I see a little bit of myself in that guy. Big, fat, and loud.
Yeah. That's usually how you do it. I think only 3, like you talk about Ryan Stiles, Colin Mockery, and all them. I think only a few of them were from the UK version. I know, I believe Wayne Brady was on the UK version too.
Yeah, the very last year, the last season.
The last season, okay, that's right, yeah.
But I gotta say, if it was, I do really believe if it wasn't for Who's Line, you probably wouldn't have heard of Wayne Brady as much, because that made him, and he made it.
Yep, you did.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him live here a few years back in the Twin Cities, and it was fun. And he started talking about his time when he was working in Japan.
Oh,
and doing doing his act and all that, and he would think these big Japanese businessmen and their associates, quote unquote, you kind of know what they mean, and they'd be always talking through it, the show and all that, and not speaking English. After a while, he got frustrated, and he said that he started just saying crap up there left and right, figuring they don't understand me anyways, obviously. Well, he was told, they heard everything, they knew everything. Be careful out there. He said he's going to write a book about his experience in Japan, and I'm still waiting for it. I'm holding on to it.
That would have been cool. No, he that's why it was so funny, because he seemed to be known for such a nice person, and then he's on the Chappelle show, and it's like, oh my gosh, he could have actually taken over Chappelle's taken over the show and just had the Wayne Brady. He didn't want to do that, he said, but it would have been a great choice, because that turnaround was just so funny.
And you want to know something, Cash? I think he could have taken over the Late Show after Craig Ferguson.
Oh he has we need more people with that kind of personality. I know there was some weird thing he said about himself recently, but he's still, I think he's right now just doing the game show, because one of my brother's best friend was on there, and he didn't win. What is it? It's the
Let's Make a Deal.
That's it. Let's Make a Deal. Yeah, he's still. I think he's done that. He's also done some stuff on soap operas of all things. He just has a really good personality, and he's got a lot of range. So it's not. Yeah. But
oh my gosh.
Who's Line? We ran into him when I went to E3 a number of years ago, and people didn't still know him that well, but he did have some camera people around him, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy. So.
I think when he did that Chappelle thing, he was sort of driving again. I know he did like an interview with some show. There's somewhere on YouTube, but I think it was sort of his drive against sort of that clean look. Because I mean, when you think of Wayne, like in that skit with Dave Chappelle, it's like you had that one cop who was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Wayne Brady," and he's like, he sings to him and all that stuff. It's like,
I know. It's just, it was really funny because. He's just, and then like he says, you get those hoes back in. It's just like it's so out of place for him to say those things.
It is,
and you're just like, does Wayne Brady got to choke a bitch? And you just keep laughing because it's just so funny. And the reaction that Chappelle has, that he really looks like he's scared out of his mind.
Oh yeah,
because what is Wayne Brady gonna do next? It was just great, really funny.
Yeah, and it was that scene where like he gets done singing and then he snaps the cop's neck, and I'm like, wow.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Oh man.
And he's like, "You didn't see shit, did you?"
So that's why you do that stuff to me, Cash.
It was just too funny though. I mean, that show was ahead of its time because of the things that they were pushing, and we just don't have that kind of sketch comedy stuff. Like you were saying, Craig Ferguson, we need that sarcasm again. We need to stop. We need to get away from what late night is, and that's why like it's interesting to see with late night how that's gone on. Is like,
Right.
who's the number one leader now? Well, it's Gutfeld. Well, they're making fun of each other. They're bringing back a lot of that old comedy that we saw with Carson, and they bring on these guests, and even though they're talking about politics, not always, they're all these different topics, but they're making fun of each other and make fun of this, that because it's supposed to be comedy, it's supposed to be humor. And that's the kind of like stuff we saw with Craig Ferguson. We had that robot, and then the robot saying like creepy stuff or not creepy stuff, and then Jeff was saying these things, and it was just really funny. I was watching some clips recently, and like the way he interacts with the women and they interact with him, they knew what to expect. It was just great. But we need that kind of stuff again, because stuff is just so stale. A lot of late night. That's why late night is dying, and this whole thing, like however you feel, they decide to go more in this political agenda direction. It's like, no, that's not the best. That's never been shown to be the best direction for any late night. It's got to be comedy. Make fun of all this stuff. You've got just so much material to make fun of things all over the place, even if people get offended. It's supposed to be late night television. It's supposed to be funny.
Well, you need the space. You need the space for that to happen, and you don't really have that because, again, the problem of it is with late night show, though, is it's a time set. You got 30 minutes total, and then you got to do all these commercial ads and all this stuff.
Yep.
And the again, as time goes on, things change, and how the structure, how the format of it is, like how it gets to you. It's no longer about television anymore. Now it's the internet, right?
Right.
So you got to change that format because it's more free. I mean, obviously there's going to be ads and stuff because somebody's got to eat, right? But if with it you get more time to do. I mean, because Craig Ferguson still has a show. He calls it Joy. It's out there. You can look for it on YouTube where he does talk with other more like celebrities. But
awesome, I gotta look for that. Okay, yeah.
It's just called Joy. Craig Ferguson. He still does stand up, but
he was hosting a game show before, and that went off the air. That was on ABC. That was a good show.
Hollywood something, I think it was. I can't remember. But you need the space for it, and again, having this allows it. But then again, you have platforms with our TOS and all this other stuff, so you're really not free of it. But then again, freedom costs a lot of things, and not everyone can afford that kind of freedom.
True. That's fair.
That's the sad part.
You like you were saying earlier too about having people come on and talk to them and not even talk about the project that they were doing, like the movie, and that what it was kind of in the old days. We go back and look at these old Johnny Carson shows, or even Tom Schneider with the Tomorrow Show. It was like they get into such great conversations that it's just basically a quick blurb at the end saying, "Oh yeah, and don't forget to watch this program that they're in. Everybody have a good night." And that's what we need more of instead of I'm here to plug my movie and it was just a film, and it's the same story. They go from one show to another show,
right?
Verbatim almost, and it's like, no, we don't want that robot. We want real humans.
Well, and it's in a sort of feeling, not like safe space environment, but like a feeling comfortable environment where you can disarm somebody conversationally and then they can have fun. Again, going back to Craig Ferguson, he could do that. He could disarm somebody, make some weird joke or whatever comment, and self-deprecating stuff as well. But you kind of need that because you don't, I don't need the Hollywood answer. I want the individualistic answer, like, oh, you're here to promote a movie, but you get on this tangent where there's not enough time to promote it, and you're just like, what did I get into? Again, yes, he did get flirty with some of those ladies, but I mean, you can't help yourself with some of them. They were pretty hot. But the point of the matter is that you kind of need the soil, you kind of need the watering, you kind of need the planter to be all in the right order. And Craig Ferguson wasn't perfect by any measure, but dear goodness, do people miss him having a show in that kind of format?
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
and when he would look at a guest or something, and then they go to him, and he has that weird look on his face. It was great, dude. And wait, what did that person say? Oh yeah, what did Jeff say? Yeah,
yeah. But the
I mean, even
thing,
making
like,
sure to get the audience involved in all that too.
Yes.
There were times where you like was it lesbian front row was what?
Yeah, that's what Conan did a lot too. Like they say something like Will Ferrell would be on, for example. No, well, we're not gonna talk about the bird, Conan. We're not talking about the bird today, Conan. We're not talking about the bird. So the bird, no, Conan, we're not doing that. And it just keeps going on. It was just really funny.
I
love that stuff. Yeah.
No, I don't think Conan's bad. I think there was one hey Wolvie. There was one great thing that Conan did. I don't know how long ago it was, but I saw it. There was one great thing, and this was after his show on TBS is done, right? He has his own podcast and stuff. But there was one great thing he did that I've never seen any other talk show host ever do. And that was at one point, he went out to some of the people who listened to his podcast, and he actually went and visited them. Now, obviously, there's security detail and all that stuff, so they probably knew to some degree. But he actually went out to people to listen to his podcast. How in the hell have I never seen that from any other talk show out there? Talk show host. It was insane because there was promo of it. There's promo. That's how I know. But it's like I was seeing this, and Conan O'Brien is going to some guy in Norway. He doesn't know the guy. He just knows he listens to the show, and he's going out there and he's talking to him. He's seeing his life. That's incredibly insane. And yet you need more of that because it's not reality TV. You need the reality, but you don't need reality TV. And that showcases the humanity part. Now, again, I didn't watch the series of it. I only saw the previews of it, but I'd never seen any talk show host ever do that. Even if they didn't really have much money to do it, I've never seen. And it's just like, how is it that he's able to do this thing and he's going to visit these people who listen to his podcast? Not even Joe Rogan does this, right?
No, nobody has to do that, but that is really cool that he is.
But that's the trendsetter. That's the thing that sets you apart from all the other people that are, yes, it consumes your own money or whatever, but that's the thing that sets you apart from those other people because you just went a step further and you did something that no one else was doing. Again, that's what I was trying to do with that's what I'm trying to do with DaraChat, is trying to do something I didn't see other content creators do. Either they aren't able to or can't, or there's a variety of reasons. But to go out to that person's house, to have a conversation with them, just to have fun with them, and to be what is considered a big celebrity. I would think Conan O'Brien is considered a big celebrity. He did something you didn't see anyone else do.
Resume, no doubt about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Simpsons. He used to write for The Simpsons. I do know that.
Yes, he did.
SNL. Yeah.
But for the same for DaraChat, it's like I don't care about your status. I don't care about how many numbers, because sometimes there's only a few people watching at times, whether they're known or known or not. But the point of the matter is that a moment of time was shared.
That's right.
Right. A moment of time was shared. It was recorded for everyone to see, and those people could say, "Wait, that person has the same sort of perspective I have, or there are some ideas that they agree with that I agree with." You get a notice of this person out to the world, and even if you're not a big person, you get them out there. Same with like Joe Rogan do with all the other people. But the point of the matter is like there are people who don't get hurt, right? Well, that was the main point of what YouTube was, right? It was supposed to be about you, and now it's become a business conglomerate. Which
their slogan used to be "broadcast yourself."
Yeah,
and now they're more concerned about making sure that they get the likes of NBC, ABC, CBS, the big corporations.
Right, which is silly. But yeah, they used to be about a lot more freedom of speech. You go back and watch stuff 10 years ago, you're like, can we even do that kind of content now? Because just the things that they said and the situations that was on the videos and whatever, it's just a lot of this stuff, even Rumble, all these different platforms, they're still... Like, I think with Rumble, they only have certain people that they sponsor or they feature. And it's like, well, what about the other people that are partnered? Don't they matter? So it's like the fairness is still a problem with these platforms, which is which continues to be an issue.
Mm-hmm. I would suggest staying away from that word because nothing in life is fair. There is no
Yeah,
such thing
right.
as there
Yeah.
is no I
know.
just as a like not to be mean or anything, it's just as a life example, right? Nothing in life is ever fair. There are good times and there are bad times and there are really bad times. But nothing in life is ever fair, no will ever be, because how is it fair that I don't get to live forever?
Yeah.
How is it fair that um many people the crimes being committed and all this stuff, and the people who would be able to help they don't because they fear for their own lives? How's that fair?
Mhm.
Right? Like there's so many things we could point to that aren't fair,
Yeah.
but that's the point. Nothing is
The
fair.
the problem is though, man, is they build these stuff up to say that we care about fairness, we care about this, and then it just they're just lying to themselves.
It's a
Another one of us.
it's words we
Yes.
made up for ourselves to make ourselves feel better. It's the same with equal, right? Like equal
Yeah.
is sort of that word that doesn't make sense, because how are you equal to the other person? Oh,
Right.
well, because of this and this. Well, there are nice. It's nice that we have these rules that we can live by, and that we can all somewhat agree not to like murder each other, right? Like we don't want to be like the Wild West where we just have another person dead in the streets and all that stuff. No, you want to be able to live, but we're not equal to each other because we all have different aspects of ourselves that aren't on the same level. It's not a bad thing. They
Right.
can be they can be complementation, like you bring in the male and female relationship stuff. You have that sort of complementation, but the people want equal. People want fair. Those are fairy words. You know what a fair is? It's a fairy word. You know how
I
like
agree.
it's a fairy tale world. Sorry, it's a
Mhm.
fairy tale world. Sorry.
Well, that's unfortunately that's what a lot of people want, is that fairy tale world, and they just don't understand. That's why these also other people, they live in this fake utopia, and it's like that's not reality, dude. Or lady.
Well, well, I got to remember, utopia means nothing.
Yeah.
And that was the purpose of the story Utopia. It's like unattainable. It's nothing.
Yep. Right.
And
But this is
now it's being used at
right.
quite the opposite.
Exactly. It is. Well, that's what a lot of people in Hollywood act like. It's unfortunate, but it's like you don't understand real people. You just live in this fake you. Not all of them, but the majority of them.
They live in a
unfortunately.
bubble.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they don't go outside that bubble.
Nope.
Oh,
It's
that's me.
well, your face is in a bubble, so I mean that kind of
Oh, yeah. Well, so is yours. So there. Nah.
That's
sort of all this. Anyway, I linked the link in the private chat. That is, there's a place where you can actually go see YouTube from its very beginning till now.
Nice.
The web design and all that stuff, and you'll find it funny. Like the first, like there's a line page where you could find out like all the stuff they were doing at the very beginning stage. Now YouTube started with only 3 former employees from PayPal. Right, that's who started YouTube. Were 3 former PayPal employees, and then they sold it to Google like a year or so down the road. But you can go to that website and you can check out for yourself. You can see from 2005 till now of like the different web design and all stuff, and you'll see at the very beginning there were a lot of things they were adding to the platform. And the times are different. Like I'm not sure like what the technical difficulties were, whatever, or how many people they had working for them and whatnot. But they were. You go to the early YouTube and the last page. So you see that line up there, those images right at the very top, there.
Yeah.
If you go to the last one at the very end, you'll see like a list of things, and this is like their first Christmas and stuff and all that. The video doesn't play, but you'll see a whole bunch of stuff, and that whole paragraph right there, that first one, that December one, you can read it if you want, but it tells you like we're here for you guys. We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to hear about what you have about this platform. What would you want to make it better or whatever? That's in their first year. What platform has done that since?
Yeah, I know.
Nobody. I can't think of a single one, whether it be Rumble, Kick, Twitch.
These are 3 guys. You can, and there's a little thing. If you go up in the very corner up there, you'll see like it'll tell you the little quick story of like them starting it and them selling it to Google. Right, like YouTube was purchased by Google for $1.65 billion. And that was in November. It's like in the very top right corner if you look up there. But the point, right there, In February 2005, 3 former PayPal employees, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jod Kareem, launched a YouTube website for publishing, sharing video files. The first video, called Me at the Zoo, which is probably still up, was uploaded to YouTube on April 23rd, 2005 by one of the co-founders, Jod Kareem. It was a short video from the San Diego Zoo. In November 2006, YouTube was purchased by Google for 1.65. That's chump change to now. That is chump change. But again, you go back down to that December 14th, you look at that and say, what platform is saying that right now? What platform has put that out there and said, hey, we want to hear the good, bad, and the ugly, and we'll show you the improvements over time. You go down that list, right? They had playlists, they had blocking at that point. Like, you keep going down that list all the way to the very end, you'll see a lot of the stuff that most websites don't even have in their first get-go. Like, there's a whole list right there. Look at that. The profiles, message centers, all that stuff. Blocking, reporting a user, right there. 2005, their first year.
They knew what they wanted to do. They had the blueprint.
It's 2005 was a different beast back then. Like, no one had what YouTube had in the beginning. It was sort of self-server. I think that'd be it. Self-serving. I don't know how you would describe it.
Yeah, no, they those were the years around even after Google bought it. As I said, they a lot of freedom of speech, and you see these videos, and just people have also made the comments that people were having more fun before on YouTube, and now it's just a little bit too many rules and so on. I mean, Rumble is supposed to be this more of a freedom of speech platform, but it has some other problems, just like all these platforms do. But it works
because none of these platforms are perfect.
No platform's going to be perfect, but you can't sit here and tell me that a platform from 2005, the very beginning of YouTube, they have all this stuff on their first right, and three people and change had that on their first year, and you go to these other platforms and they're having a tough time as it is. I'm just like, how the hell?
What changed in the last 20 years?
Too much. Too much.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, I think it comes down, it kind of comes down to this. And it goes back to like what you were saying earlier, Dara, about Keith Ferguson wasn't perfect. There was problems and such like that. And it comes right to this YouTube. People were willing to take chances, and that's what it was. It's like, okay, we're going to take a chance on something here. It will fail. I'll be successful. And if you start seeing that these people had some, with the show come along, there were some moments in there that didn't seem to go right, or things like that. It was them taking chances. And YouTube here, back in those days, was allowing you to take chances. They don't allow you to make chances no more because you might hurt somebody's fee-fees.
Exactly. That's a problem.
And,
yes.
Yeah. And everyone's
Okay.
afraid of doing something different because they're stuck in this template mode. We have to be like this.
I just wanted to make a clarification though, that part of it is the whole copyright stuff, because I believe the story was YouTube was getting hit, and they would have been hit with a lot of money to have to pay for it. So it's understandable why they made the copyright system, but not to improve it on a better stance when they did.
Right.
It doesn't make sense, but it's understandable why they made their copyright system the way it was, because otherwise you're getting sued for billions of dollars from movies, TV shows, and all that stuff. And even though you probably could put a whole TV show now on YouTube, still.
Yeah, well, you might be able to on Rumble, so there's a lot of crazy
for now
stuff. Yeah, for now,
Yeah.
Never think Rumble is the exception, because unfortunately, it can't be an exception if it gets big, and that's another thing I think.
Yes.
And just talking on that matter, like there's a lot of stuff that's there's a lot of stuff you can look at Rumble and says, oh, that's good. That's great and all this stuff, but there's a lot of things look at Rumble and say, you guys are really missing the ball. Your communication and all that suffers, and you're really getting corporate speak. And I'm like, I want the platform to succeed. That's all I want. I want the platform to succeed, but it needs to have better more strategic updates.
Yeah, well, it's had problems too before. Baron and I have run into problems. Mike has run into problems. I'm sure you have run into some problems.
Oh,
Like
Lord,
the video or the live stream, everything was, and then it clicked off, and it's like, well, what happened with the Rumble side?
Well, I'll give you guys an example. When I was on Dara 3 weeks ago, my mic cut out. I didn't cut it out, but my mic cut out.
I think that's a lie. I think you are really wanting to cut it.
You want to know the truth? Yeah, you're right. He told us all about it afterwards. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're sitting there, we're talking, then I'm talking, but there's no sound coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had that problem, especially when we used some other.
When we used EVMux, we had
EVMux was fine, and then it started causing problems, and some people couldn't get on, and it was just like, okay, what the hell's going on here? Then they want to raise the prices to this stuff. StreamYard is a perfect example. They raise the prices, and it's like,
I almost thought you said they wanted EVMux wanted to start calling you names. I'm like, wow, that's different.
That would be something, right? You pay for the monthly subscription, and it's just, hey, jackass. Did you bring this person on today? That'd be fun.
You pay for the option where somebody from EVMux just is constantly yelling in your ear.
Whenever I come on the StreamYard, it's like, hey, welcome back, you ugly fucker. What are you gonna do now?
It should be like EVMux has that clippy little emoji. Says, I see you're trying to start a stream. Are you fudging up?
Dude, sometimes my tablet Siri goes on, and I go, Siri, shut up, and I'm like, Siri's gonna kill me in my sleep one of these days. What the hell?
If I don't get there first.
Oh boy, you can try, man.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have a.
Wait, I'm not talking to you. I forgot, Mike. Can you tell him if I don't tell him that? Unless I get there.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
See, that's the other thing too. You look at you look at that movie, you look at The Office. We're not getting that kind of comedy because we're pushing. Even though they showed all these different situations, how the females felt about this, how the males felt about this at a certain time period, and those kind of things actually did happen at that time. So some of that stuff still is, but that kind of stuff right there, they're like, oh, we can't show this kind of thing before. I mean, in the second movie, Ron Burgundy is saying black. Ron, stop saying black.
I really, the one scene I like in the first one is when they start singing "Afternoon Delight." I'm like, wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was, right?
Afternoon Delight.
Brick killed a guy with a trident.
I gotta see this film.
It's true.
It's on a watch party for next year, Bear.
Oh man,
I know. I know it is.
It's just
now
so
I got
funny.
Where'd you get that grenade from, Rick?
I don't know.
And
all the guest stars and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I don't want to spoil too much.
That whole fight in the second one with all the different TV stations, that was hilarious. You have John C. Reilly as Ulysses.
So funny. Yeah.
Like,
PBS showed up too. Public Broadcasting is here to kick your ass or whatever. It's so funny.
Yeah. The Canada version with Marianne and Jim Carrey.
Spanish news station.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller. Tonight's top story.
Here I thought it was ESPN Ocho.
No.
Ocho.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad you enjoyed though Dodgeball. It's funny. It's like we still need that comedy. We don't have that comedy again. You had just different ones. Even like Funny People has a lot of really good message. I thought my friend. What you think I'm gonna do? My friend Smyra. It's just like it's just there's just so many funny moments of stuff that they won't do anymore. And it's really weird in how like how political these other people have gotten. It's like, you used to do this, so what was wrong with that? Like we watched the second Happy Gilmore movie, and Mike and I and Baron were like it started off. It had a few jokes. Tim Daly, right? Was it with Tim Daly or John Daly? John Daly, right? Was the golfer, right? Yeah, excuse me. And there were a few good jokes, and then it like just things started falling apart, and that's what happens with a lot of these comedies. Or there's comedy stuff in like a DC movie or something that you go, I don't think that really works there, you know. But other people are like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, well, if you want to accept everything, you know, go nuts. But
well, you know, when Pops and I think it may be public already, but when we did Bubba Hope Tap and talked about it, that was 2002. It was really a bizarre comedy, dark comedy, horror film, and of course, it has good old Ash from The Evil Dead in there, and as the main star, and Ozzie Davis in it. And we both came to the conclusion that, you know, 2002 was probably about the line you could draw where these, almost experimental, funny, pushing the edge films like that kind of came to an end.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's like, yeah, I kind of have to agree. 2002 is about that mark where that happened. Because, you know, you take a look, even through the 90s, you still had stuff that they're pushing the edge on. Nothing like they did in the 80s. I mean, they really pushed the edge in the 80s. You kind of got a lightened down version of that in the 90s, but it's still edgy.
It was still really a lot of really good stuff. Yeah. I mean,
then stuff started going shit.
Yeah. It wasn't the same. You needed stuff like I Love You, Man, but it depends who's in there. If it's Paul Rudd, you didn't see stuff like Clueless. It's the jokes in there. It's the message. It's like a good message. It's like, oh, that's a good message for people and teenagers and grown-ups and whatever.
And let's face it, any film Bruce Campbell's in is going to be good, right?
I think so. I mean, he brings a certain style to stuff. The Evil Dead, I never watched. Was the Evil Dead versus Ash or Ash versus the Evil Dead? That's what it was called. Yeah. I never really got into that one, but I did watch the first two, and I was like, these are quality films, and it's kind of funny too. And you know, it's more of like a horror thing, but it's not just like constant in your face blood and all this. Isn't that edgy? That they act like nowadays with this stuff. It's like there was actually a story, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, go on.
No, go ahead. A thought came and the thought went. It was like a bird.
Oh, you suffer the same problem I do. Mine's then I have a nest that's empty up there because the bird just comes in, drops a leaf, and flies off. But now I lost it. No, it's the same thing with horrors. You know, we were talking about the horrors and how you know things change from the universal to the Hammer.
Yeah,
and how and the experimental and the things they did to help change the genre, and it helped flow into the 80s with horror films where it was about the substance, not the gore. I mean, the slasher films, the reason why they were so popular because there was something different. No one's really seen a film like
Halloween or but Friday there was a story there. There was a story about Freddy. There's a story about Jason. There's a story about these characters that they were building up. Yeah.
But then it becomes blood, gore, and all that.
Right.
And these other films, even like American Werewolf in London, there's gore in it, but still there's a strong story. There's still humor, things like that. And, we people here on YouTube or Rumble or wherever they might be, we should be rewarded for taking these risks and chances.
Yes, I agree.
Every time we turn on the stream or whatever, we should be able to, within reason, of course. I mean, you don't want to go out there and be like one of the those moron brothers that ran around Japan. But
the Lloyd, was it Jake Paul?
Yeah, it was Jake Paul.
The Pauls. The Pauls.
Yeah.
And but we don't want to be amateurish and just the belch fart factory, but we still should be able to do some risks on stuff.
Yes.
And even if it means we talk about something incredibly serious that might be quote unquote touchy, but it still needs to be talked about.
That's
Well,
right.
And
my question to you is who is going to reward you for those risks, taking those risks?
you might not get a reward. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is you did. Maybe it won't be an immediate one,
Mhm.
but what you do might influence later on. I mean,
Right,
you had
yeah.
Ernie Kovacs back in the 1950s who really revolutionized how television is done, because he was the first one to realize how to utilize television instead of trying to do like vaudeville and stage plays like I Love Lucy and all the other ones that we're doing, basically taking the old stuff, bringing it to TV. And his breaking out, the reward wasn't immediate, but then down the road, others started going, hey, we can do this. Look what Ernie did.
I
So,
want more
yeah,
shows like
that's-
Brothers.
it-
Go ahead.
Yeah, Brothers, yeah. I mean, that's just it. And what was the reward? Well, a lot of people don't know it, but it's still influenced.
Yes.
So
Right.
the feeling of the influence in there, you might not be the one, but again, if we're not going to go out there with the ego, like a lot of other people, that I'm
Yes.
the greatest or whatever,
Yes.
after a while we can sit back and know, hey, I did contribute something. And that's the reward that you have. You see what you planted growing, and hopefully will flourish and not be trampled under. And sometimes you're lucky. Sometimes you will see that risk you took, boom, it's like shoots you somewheres. It's a gamble.
We
And just like you
need
said, nothing's fair.
right.
But if you don't take a chance,
Right.
then it's immaterial.
They need to take a gamble again and see, hey, even if this fails, once again, as we've talked about many times, maybe something else will come out of it. And that's what we need to see more of. And we see too many movies still nowadays. They're a lecture, or they put these characters in, or they don't continue the story like they should. And there's all these different problems, it seems, and then they're losing all this money. Well, you're a business. You should be making money. And Hollywood should be working on making money and making their fan base happy. Making money first, of course, making their fan base happy second.
Right.
There's certain things that they push. Like I would say stuff like Into the Spider-Verse. I even think Stan Lee would appreciate that movie. But the problem is that the second one, even though it made a lot of money, fine, I understand that. But they started going into this multiverse stuff where they already had the Spider-Verse. And there's just things that these characters are already built up from the comics and whatever. And other people said, oh, they're different than the comics. But it's like, but the comic version is better than the actual what you see in the animated film. And you're like, well, what are we doing? It's just like, even Pixar, where is the great ideas now? Like they had Ratatouille, and they had Cars, and they have Brave. These are like taking chances. But now it's like they're all not doing that anymore. And if they do, it's like, oh, well, this character's gay, and this, would be fine. But the thing is, it's not, it doesn't really add anything to the story. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, let's get back to what we did well. And like something like Inside Out 2 made a lot of money because it was still a quality continuation from the first film. And it's like, is that all Pixar's now going to rely on? Is going to be those continuations, or are they actually going to try to come up with more stuff like Ratatouille, Brave, Cars, things like that? Toy Story. Well, there's going to be a Toy Story.
Take a look at the Moana trailer that was released the other day.
Hot mic. A little loud. Hot mic.
Your hot mic.
I don't know if it's your mouth was close to it or not, but it was really loud.
How about now?
You're much better. Much
there we go. You don't have the God voice no more.
But anyways, what I was going to say was, take a look at the Moana trailer that was released the other day. It's shot for the animated film. If you're going to do one of those films in live action, I don't want to see shot for the animated film. If I'm going to see shot for the animated film, I might as well just stick with the animated film.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with How to Train a Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon. I watched that one night in Discord or whatever, and with some people, including Crit, and it was just felt a lot like the animated one. I'm like, well, the animated one's the supreme one. This is not bad, but it's pretty much just the same animated one, which is okay, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
they did a few changes here and there. But.
Well, yeah, I saw the trailer of that, and I'm just like, okay, it's not my money's going to that. So, but there are people that are still going to see it because it's a kid
Yeah,
movie,
right.
and so parents are going to still go see it with their kid. My thing is like, I think whether or not it makes a lot of movie, what it means to the individual of the movie is what matters more. Because I know a lot of people like, well, it didn't make enough money, so it's not a good movie. Well, how do you define a good movie to someone who's not you?
Right. Exactly.
And that's another issue I have with like, I mean, you can give your opinion. That's fine. I don't care about you giving like the the Eskel and Ebert or whatever they were back in the 90s, where they would
Siskel and Ebert, and then it was Ebert and Roper.
Ebert and Roper later on.
That all is fine, but don't go telling somebody you shouldn't go see that movie because I didn't agree with it and all this stuff.
Right. I watched it so you didn't have to. I played this game so you didn't have to. It's like, come on, ridiculous.
Yeah, because there was a movie. Oh, so obviously, just to give a recent example, would be the Superman movie, the Super with David. Now you can say what you will about the people beyond the movie part, like how they've been or whatever. That is what it is. But I went to go see that movie a few times because it just hit the right for me. The Superman movie 2025 hit those right points that it was wanting to go see again. It hit the points of, okay, you have this point because people complain of like the dad was too emotional or the cats were too Alabama or whatever it is, or all this other stuff, or Lois was too strong. All this, it was just like, you can say your opinions about the movie, but I get to define what the movie meant to me, not you. And so you have, oh god.
Well, I was going to say, we just recently watched Superman 2025 this past Sunday. And one of my big issues with it was it never really took time to take in a moment.
It kept, well, I mean, there was that point where they had to take Clark to the farm, but I can understand, like, it felt like it was just a rolling stone. It didn't stop to breathe in that sense. But it kind of makes sense, at least from my end, because sometimes people, if they get too much in a lull, they'll just be like, oh, and then you try to pick it up again, and just like, it's kind of difficult to do and all this stuff. But I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, man. It's just people get mad at you. It's like, well, look, this is how I feel about this movie. Or game or whatever. I feel it's goofy. That doesn't mean I hate you because your opinion, but you're trying to influence me to say like you're wrong and this and that. It's like, that's your opinion too. So it's really funny to me. It's like, just because I feel this way doesn't mean that I think you're stupid for liking this or whatever. Now, if you said you like the Acolyte, then maybe, but no, I'm just really, it's just, yeah, I know, right? But no, but like,
I can always boot up Dara.
No, he's fine.
It's just, but no, but like, all joking aside, like, it's just, people get mad at you because this is your opinion. It's like, this is why I feel this way, and this is the way I'm coming from with this, and you're coming on that. And so I just, as I've told people before, man, I said, what I don't understand is people, if it makes them happy, great, but they just accept everything. And they're like, oh, I don't want any negativity in my life. Okay, great. But it's like, dude, you want to just accept everything. We're never going to, that attitude spreads too much. We're never going to get the best stuff of these franchises or other movies or other games or whatever that we deserve, that we've had in the past.
Well, one, you don't deserve anything, because that's another thing too. Like, what do you deserve? Like just you being alive alone is like hitting a grand lottery, right? Because you hear stories about stillborn and stuff. I'm not trying to be dismissal. I'm just trying to point out that even you being alive is a big count for it, because some people don't make it past being born.
That means I'm a booby prize.
I don't even know what that means, but you go for it there, young man. I'll let you have that.
You know what a booby prize is?
But
that's basically like a joke gift type of thing. It's like,
Oh.
Yeah,
it's
but I mean,
Oh,
what do you
yeah, I
call
see
the
what
white
you're saying.
outfit
Booby
now.
prize, yeah. Yeah, I see
what
you're saying.
I'm like saying about like what they deserve is just like things that we've had in the past. It's like that more options, more this, more that, and we're not
Yeah.
that because of the way the industries are. It's like you guys should be making the fan bases happy if you really want to make that
Right.
money.
Yeah.
But so then people go, oh, I accept this and I accept that. I mean, I can say everything from Call of Duty and other stuff. They are falling apart because of the direction that Treyarch and other companies decided to take this, where Blizzard is, where Activision Blizzard is. Like WoW's still going on, but there's other things that they're doing. From sometimes they're pandering, not that people would all care about that, but it's just like this was a better direction before, and then now you guys are going in not that good of a direction. So you look at something like Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, I think there's some good stuff there, but there's still problems with the matchmaking. There's still things that they aren't addressing that would make the game even better. So I understand it's like you're not entitled to this and that, but it's just like this is where this game was. This is where it should continue to go and keep being great. And so a lot of this stuff now, we're not seeing so much greatness. We're just seeing mediocre. We're seeing poor. I mean, that's all opinions anyways. But people go, oh, I just accept that. I just accept that. Like, once again, you go and think about something like Animaniacs. The whole thing about Hello Nurse is not appropriate to a lot of people because they've deemed that inappropriate, which is just ridiculous. It's just a joke. But so everybody's feelings gets hurt about everything nowadays. And it's just really pathetic. People need to,
Well, they get to the point about what we deserve and such like that is a two-edged sword.
Yes,
it comes like this: you expect and you deserve what they promised. We continue to go on, and we're going to make this the way it should be, or we're going to get this project done, and you'll get it.
Right.
So you've been given a quote unquote guarantee, but they don't follow through.
Yeah.
And you call them on it, and then they yell at you, and that's the thing. That I'm talking to you, George R.R. Martin.
Where's your book? Where's your book?
Where's your book, dude? Come on, bro. They made that joke, I think, on on Conan before. He's like sitting there and stuff in his house, and he's working on his book, and so it's funny. I'd have to.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
but it's like that's where we go. No, sorry.
No, you had.
Go ahead, Baron. Go ahead.
Oh, but that's one of the places where what we deserve. But again, like a two-edged sword, it doesn't mean that we're going to get it.
No, it doesn't.
Because we were given, just like you would, going onto the show, you were, and then of course having that yanked, you were promised that, so you're holding someone to that. You deserve what was promised to or agreed to. That's the way I look at it.
The respect for the date set, like it was, the day was set. Yeah, sure. They told me about this is the thing, or whatever, and initially I did accept, but the problem of it is like if this happens once, it's going to happen again, and it could happen. Because when I had replied to them my piece, like I don't think it'll be a great fit and all this stuff, and I did kind of get a bit, I did throw some of my emotion in there, but then they sent me a corporate like DM back, and I'm like, what is this? Like these things are rare and all this stuff, and like, no, this doesn't make sense at all. Even if it's just rare, you're essentially telling me we're gonna replace you with a bigger content creator, and we're gonna have them on because it's the only time. It doesn't matter if they're the only time they can come on. Guess what happens? There's going to be another time. There may not be. But the point of the matter is, are you integrity or are you status?
Right.
That's
and that to me is more status than anything. It's like this past weekend's watch party for Superman 2025. I was originally going to have it today, and then you tell me you're open for today, so it's like, okay, I'm going to change the day to Sunday. But I knew that I had asked Arwen to be on, so she could watch it with us and give her point of view with us for her second time watching it. But I immediately wrote Arwen a message, said, Arwen, I just want to let you know I'm changing the date. from the 19th to the 16th.
Mhm.
If you're okay with that, I'll send you the link.
Mhm. Well, no, you did that like ages ago. That wasn't on the day of. That was probably ages ago.
Yeah.
So you have,
But see, what
yeah,
what I'm getting at is,
yeah,
if you're real serious about this
yeah,
and you want people to not just respect you, but know that you're going to be professional about this, give
yeah.
people enough notice ahead of
Yes.
time. Don't wait till the last minute.
There are times where that can't be the case. Obviously, emergencies and stuff, and
Obviously.
stuff
Yeah.
does come up, and there's an understandability. Like again, like I said, there were rare times where I double booked, and it was an accident. And I did apologize, and I did explain, and like, you know what, the next day is yours. I will try my best to accommodate you, because I I feel bad about that. But when you give someone enough time, and you're not just replacing them or whatever. If they were to say to me, "Hey, we're gonna have this guest on, but if how about this day? If we give you this day, will you come on?" They didn't give me a day. They wanted to reschedule a day, sure, but it's like, how I can't get past the point of, how can I be guaranteed this day when you're doing to this now? I'm not saying they were malice or anything. They were just, this is a big guest. We want to have this guest on because this is the only day they said it can be on. How can I trust that the next day we set up, you
You can't.
yeah, you can't guarantee me the next time, and that's what my frustration was on. It's like, I if I put someone on the day, like for you or forever, that day is going to be there unless they come and say, "Hey, I can't do it." They can give whatever reason, or they're like, "Hey, I had an emergency come up," and all this stuff. And usually, sometimes again, that happens like a few hours before or whatnot. And been grateful enough when it does, because I can do a show on my own. I don't, I've done a few shows, so.
Hmm.
But the point of the matter is like, you give somebody enough time, you give them somebody enough credence, you are better than okay. But when you're just like, what, no less than maybe 16 hours out, and then you're like, "Oh, we're just gonna let you, we want to bring this other person on stuff," and then we're gonna do it anyway, whether or not I said yes to it. um but it's just like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want to feel that way. So why would I want to treat someone else that way? And that's why I've always tried to at least keep, like, after that double booking happened with that person, I'm like, whenever I get with someone saying, "Okay, this is the day, this is the time, boom, done," I put it in the
Mhm.
calendar right away, because I do not want to forget, and I do not want to keep having this rarity of double booking, because it I work between Discord, I work between email, rarely email, and I work between Twitter X. If you were to see the long list of DMs I have on Twitter X, you'd be like, "How the hell do you even do this?" Because I don't get rid of DMs in case I want to bring them back, but it's just like,
Right.
that's where majority of my what is it? Majority of my communications at, because again,
Mhm.
majority of people are on there. Um, but it's just like, I can't. I can't. Internally, I can't. If I don't want that to happen to me, I don't know how that feels. Then why would I do it to someone else? Because it's your word, right? What's the one thing, Mike? What is the one thing they say about men, right? Your word
Your
is your
word is
bond.
your bond.
Yeah. What happens when you can't even
Yeah.
keep to your word, and you could?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, another example of that is when you find out, you're like, oh, they have a streaming group, and it's like, oh, I'm not at the time active enough on Twitch, so I don't feel I want to be a part of this group. And then you find out from other people who in the group, they said, oh, well, they're now pushing to have more partnered streamers in the Twitch streaming group. Well, that's not smart. They should have people who aren't partnered. And so what ended up happening? The group fell apart, and they said that some people were being racist in this. And I said, well, that's what you get for bringing in these certain people that were probably going to cause drama. But they get into these little, that bubble. It's like, or elitism kind of nonsense. Like, oh, we have to have more partnered streamers in our streaming group. No, you should have more people that aren't partnered streamers, because those people will probably be more likely to stay in the group than the people who are already established.
Mhm. You could have just used my Linktree one. That would have been good enough. That way, it's not just having to put all those links in one go.
I like to make it individual because I've had problems when I've tried to use one set link.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. But no, yeah, it's just, again, that's why I stated earlier, it's like, I wanted to take a sledgehammer and I wanted to take it to all those spheres out there and say, This doesn't have to be it. Like I get why some people choose something if they enjoy it. That's great. That's what content creation should be. You know what YouTube was great at the beginning? It was just giving people a place to put content up that either they enjoyed or whatever. Maybe you would have had people copyright. I don't know. Don't remember much of those beginning days, but you had at least a place to put stuff on. Nowadays, it's a restrictedness because of copyright, because of violence and gore and probably CSAM and all this other stuff. And so you have these things out there that you do have to be careful of, and that a platform is responsible for. But as long if a platform has a TOS, to call them free speech is a bit of a misnomer, because they're going to follow by the rules of law, and sometimes they have discretionary rules, which allows them to just be vague enough to let them do whatever they want on that part. And that's with any platform. That's just one platform. That's with any platform. Whatever platform's out there, you can do it. If they tell you they can't touch it at all, well, then test them on it. But don't get yourself too much in trouble. don't get yourself sent to jail. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. Don't have
Yeah,
a lawsuit filed against you and criminal charges and
it was only the face of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, that's like me being jailed for a bank job I may or may not have done in Peoria back in the day. So,
and then Grandpa decided to tell us how he went to jail, and I said, "Well, did at least Leroy leave you alone?" He said, "There were times, kid. There were times."
I remember when I was going to the big house, and my father said 4 words: "Soap on a rope," and I heeded it. I think I killed our guest. I'm sorry, Mike.
I had a question I wanted to ask him too, Barrett. And now,
it's good. It's good. No, you'd have to do harder.
Sorry, we're gonna get hit by YouTube now. He's like, we saw that. You just killed somebody on stream. It's a joke, YouTube.
Well, that could be considered a bombing too. He either killed it on stream or he killed it on stream. Like, what's the difference? Well, are there still people in the crowd? Yes, and he killed it on stream. What is your question? I'm humbled by questions.
I wanted to ask you, where do you see your channel 6 months from now to a year from now?
Don't know. I just that's always a funny thing, right? That's like, if you go back to my one of the early recorded videos, I do that whole thing talking about like the 5-year question that jobs ask you. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years and all that stuff, and blah 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 blah. And I'm big person, like I mean I want to keep doing DaraChat because there's value here, and there's the internal push that says keep going. Something's there. If you keep continuing with it, then that there's something will come along the way. But I can't. I don't know definitively, because it's like, my current situation where I'm living at and stuff would have to stay the same, and stuff changes in life. I don't know, and that's the fear part of being an adult, is because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? You could wake up and find out, I just lost my job, and all that stuff. The point of the matter is, my real answer is I don't know, but I'm regardless, I'm still going to do DaraChat. I'm still going to reach out to people, create or not, and see where the ultimate of that road leads, because I've in all honesty, I found the thing, that I want to do. And it's sort of like that thing where they tell you, like, go to college, you'll find your thing there, or with this or that. And it's just like, I didn't find it at college. I didn't find it through that route. I found it simply by trying this thing out, and then finding that one thing that's like, there's something here I didn't see anyone else do. Let's go with that. And that's it. That's it. It's still a challenge. I mean, there's still difficulties and stuff and all that, but the point of the matter is, I would rather chase that than try to figure out what the big thing of I'm supposed to be doing. Because let's be honest with you, kids, there is no manual for this stuff. Whether you're a teen, whether you're an adult in your 20s, or what, there is no parent can give you a manual. No grandparent can give you a manual. There are no answers there. You might find advice, but there is no real 1.1 this is what it is. This is how you get to life. You really have to find it. You really do.
Mhm.
Even within the content creator sphere, you have to find it. It doesn't mean you're alone. It doesn't mean you're totally by yourself, but you do need to be able to handle things on your own if it comes to that point. Because the whole situation back. So where do I see myself with 6 months a year now? I'm hopefully still doing charity chat. Hopefully maybe reaching that 500, 600, 700 mark. I'll see. But it's also hoping in that whatever the thing is that keeps, driving me to keep going is that thing ultimately shows up to where, uh, you know, that because this is for me, this is personal success. Like people will define success in many different avenues, many different ways. Like, oh, you don't have so many followers or a board thing or whatever. It's like I'm doing something I never thought I'd be doing in the first place. That alone is success. That alone is success. I'm having conversations with people halfway across the world from my where I live. That in itself is success. I am I am getting to hear about stories. I'm getting to talk to current and former military. I am getting to see beyond myself in so many different ways and my biases and all those things. That's success. Like, follower count doesn't mean much diddly squat because not all followers watch your stuff. You can have more followers watching your stuff, and you can have less follower of what you have following you watching your stuff. It really is. It really is a milestone. I understand, but it's not a definitive milestone that is a success. You find it a success? Don't listen to me, right? I'm coming at this from my perspective. Anything I say is subjective to you, the individual. But I will tell you my perspective of what I've seen and felt through it, and how you define what your successes for you is what should matter. Not what I say, but what should matter. But for me, my success is I'm doing this thing. I'm going to continue doing it. I'll keep bringing back people who've been on, and I'll keep trying to attain people who are new, and see where it goes. Because, like I said earlier, got you've got a time clock. You sort of knew when you clocked. You know those old time clocks where you had like the card and you punch in and punch out.
Right. My
I
first
did
job,
those.
I had to use one.
Yep, I had the same thing too till they moved the cards. You sort of know when you clocked in, but you are not going to know when it's time to clock out.
Mhm.
No.
And that's the thing people need to remember, because it's like, we could do the whole philosophical matter and question mortality and all that, and it's not something to be afeared of, but it is sort of like a reminder, like my time clock out is blank. When when is this supposed to happen? Just enjoy and be smart in a way, and just enjoy, because it's not it's not fine. It's not infinite. It's finite.
Nothing is ever guaranteed in life.
Oh,
Let's face it. Nothing is.
Well, except for death. And, what you were saying is fascinating, because I was asked kind of this when I talked with Mike, Mexican Iron Man Mike.
oh,
He asked me specifically, "What is your intent?" Because I've had one of my first guests on Baron After Dark,
oh, wow.
and he asked me what was my intent with YouTubing. And he was more interviewing me in some ways than I was interviewing him for that one. And I basically said, I'm here to have fun, enjoy myself, meet people, and just have enjoyment out of it. He says, you got the right answer. Because most of the time people are saying, well, I'm hoping I can turn this to as a career. I can get money. I can be like Doomcock, or I can be like Gary at the Neurotic, or all that stuff, right? And you hear that a lot from these people.
Yeah.
But the thing is no, you go out there to have fun. And if you happen to get successful, don't let them hear it. Just be yourself. And of course, I got the pat on the head and the attaboy from Mexican Iron Man for that. But
just tell him to make a churro.
Yeah. Oh, I asked for the chicken rabbit tacos from him all the time.
Oh man, that's better though. No, that's a better answer. No, you're not wrong. That's what my thing is, like, just kind of backtracking a bit. It's like, before I was just a consumer of stuff, right? Consumer of content creators, whatever. You would always go to a content creator stream and there'd be someone asking, like, how do you get started? What do you do? How do you get started? and more times than not, the content creator would say, "Oh, get a camera, get a microphone, and go from there." My being in this thing, content creator, whatever you want to call it, I just say content creator sphere because it encompasses pretty much everything of that nature. I don't start with that. That's not important. Everyone who wants to get into this, whether it be on a single platform or whatever platform, first is, what are you going in for, and what are you expecting out of this? My reasoning is because of there is backroom drama, and not all the time, but it does sometimes happen, even if you try to avoid it. And the other part of this too is like there'll be times where if you don't see those numbers move, you're going to be dismayed and you're going to be disheartened. And the other part of this too is that it protects you. Your why. You have a reason why. You have a pillar to stand on. If you don't, it doesn't make sense to do it. And that's why I plead, if you can't answer those two questions I ask, then I plead with you, don't become a content creator. This is not about competition. This is not about getting the money. This is about protecting your own sanity. If you can't answer those two questions, don't become a content creator. Because if you can't answer that, then anything that comes after that is going to hit you hard. It's going to ruin you. You're going to feel disheartened. And you may be somebody who takes that too far. And you may be one of those people that end it too soon. And life doesn't end with a bad moment. It can end with a sad moment, but it doesn't have to end with a bad moment. And content creation doesn't have to be that thing.
Yeah, I tell these two knuckleheads that they're my therapy. And it is. Coming on here or going on Jason's show or doing stuff with Pops or whoever it is that decides they want to take a chance and have me on there, and they have their finger over that flush button to take me off. It's all my therapy, and it really helps. Going through some times right now. But this is my therapy. Taking time to go in this, it keeps me centered, keeps me balanced. And of course, talking to a new individual here that we've never met before. So this is great in having this conversation. Really enjoyable on that. And of course, you have that great outlook on how to do the Utah.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great when you have a space to be not only quizzical, but to be introspective about life itself? Maybe your life, maybe a movie that changed your perspective, or a book, whatever. And you can sit there and you have a conversation about it, and nothing, no note, no, maybe chat, maybe have pointed to something or whatever, but no note, no thing brought you to the point. It was simply just the flow of the river. And you don't, you ask yourself at the end, it's like, how did we get from point A to point B? You're on a lazy river. Go ahead.
We've asked ourselves that question. We could be talking about a topic in an article, and then something else comes up, and we get on this tangent. We get on that boat, we ride down the rapids, and then we go, what were we talking about again?
We're starting to sound like a Talking Heads song here.
Once in a lifetime. No, it's a great song though, because it's like listening to it, you don't even understand what's going on. It's like, what if you were in a gunshot shack and all this stuff? It's like, what the hell is he talking about? No, and that's a really good point to point at. Like Jet Sparks has a point. I gave up due to burnout. Well, that kind of shows that maybe there was something about it you chased that you didn't enjoy, or some out of it. I'm not presuming that. I'm just saying as a possibility that maybe you chase something that led to the burnout. Like, don't get me wrong. Like there was a show I used to do. It's called Dara's Hangout Den. I used to do it trying to bring other people on and bring them together because, I wanted to like cross pollinate people. But at a certain point, I was getting to the point. It was like, because I was doing DaraChat, I was doing that, and I was doing Rumble Squared, which is my other show I do. And I was like, I'm getting to this point where I feel like, because I was trying to get guests on, I was trying to find people for that and that and that. And I was like, maybe I'll bring it back, maybe I won't. But it's like, I need to get rid of something because it's just becoming more stressful than it needs to. And I want to enjoy this process. I want to keep it going. So I eventually just took that to the side and said, I don't really need to. Well, funny enough, like my Rumble Squared show sort of does that sort of thing where it brings people together that may not have thought of meeting before. Yes, maybe it's Rumble centric, but there's always something people issues or people wish list stuff of they have on the platform. But you have this cross section had a gentleman in Putin bot and then a gentleman Doom Gnome on at the same time, and they're both within Montana. And it's like, oh my gosh, now you guys could go. They actually, I think they did actually meet up in real life, but point of the matter is, you have that thing, and so that takes care of Dara's hangup then, because that cross pollination happened right there. So there's that. It's just don't put so many loads on your back that you end up enjoying things. Sometimes you do have to pull back. Sometimes you do have to let a show go. I've
been there myself, Dara. I used to cover each and every Cup game I could. And between doing this and the game streams and any other streams, I did get that burnout. So, one thing that did help was MLB.TV raising its price. So I said, okay, I know what I'm going to cut, and it's the box score.
Yeah, you don't be afraid. Like, it's understandable if you don't want to, and it's understandable if it's kind of a sad thing, but there's nothing saying it can't come back. It's just saying right now these two things work, and that one wasn't working out as much, so it can take a back seat. And that one I can understand. Jet Spark says, one thing I also know is that there was zero engagement, because I think everyone knows that if you engage, that means it brings more attention. I guess everybody knows that with me somehow easily. I guess, yeah. I mean, I at first I was hesitant of like asking for likes and stuff, but then it was like at a certain point, and I was told by another content creator head on, it's like sometimes you just have to do it. And it's not begging, it's just like it's an option. Like, hey, you want to help see more people come on and all this stuff. I say engagement factor, because all likes, all tweets, all this stuff, that's all engagement factor at the end of the day. So just include it in like one word. But no, that is understandable. But at the end of the day, it's like, even if you get zero engagement, are you enjoying yourself? If you have someone else on, are you having a great conversation with them? Like, are you finding your piece out of this? Because if you're relying wholly on chat to give you engagement, then while understandable in one section, it can also be a hindrance in another, because like I said, I could do a solo show talking about whatever. And again, I pay it for it streams. Rarely do I have people in there. Not rarely, occasionally I have people in there, but it's not like big hundreds of thousands of followers. Same with DaraChat. There's not like hundreds of thousands of people watching me. But it's more important. The belief I have in it is more important, because I am talking to people across far away, and it's being recorded for the moment, and somebody later on could see that and say, wait a second, so they think like that too, or they have sort of the same thing or whatever. Not to agree with their bias, but to also like their not feel alone sort of point, if that makes sense. And Jet Spark says, the one thing that definitely gives me meaning is something that nobody wants to do, and how literally everything I do doesn't get anyone engaged, so I give up focus on writing. If you enjoy writing, congratulations, you found it, right? If you enjoy writing, there you go. So explore that. If there's something in conjunction with writing, explore that. Life is about experimentation, not experimentation like they did in the 60s. That's a whole other.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, come on, man. Here, take a look at this stamp, man. And you'll hear colors. You'll hear colors, man.
This toad is for you. But no, but the most basic human thing that's out there, that's always worked to whatever degree, is trial and error.
Right.
The most basic human thing any of us can do is trial and error. Guess what content creation is? It's a wide field. It's a wide field of trial and error. Now, obviously, you have the chasers of algorithms or whatever, the attention of stuff, right? The spotlight. But you have the biggest field to play around in. And you know what? You can not care about how people feel about it. You can just do this thing to explore. You can bring up the other one too. The Jet Sparks has just put up. And he says, yeah, but people don't want to see me stream writing. But then again, people just see my streams as a means of trying to. That's an internal problem you're gonna have. I get what you're saying. I get it, right? You want to create and be seen. I get that. but this is a great time for you to explore and experiment what works for you. Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoy streaming writing, or do you want people to watch you watch the writing and all this stuff? And it's because, trust me, there's a lot of talentless people out there that have good ideas, so they have to. And no, that's understandable. I agree with that. I agree that there are people out there that will steal ideas, but it's about what you want to do with this. Trial and error. Like, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying that's on the most basic scale that we can all experience. Trial and error is all something we can all do. We can I'm not saying go out there and try something, eat something that you probably know you shouldn't eat, but that's a little different. But it's just there's so much out there. There's so much to explore, and it's a big wide world out there. Sure.
Well, like you said earlier, Dara, content creation is about taking risk.
And just finding something that fits you. Sorry, go ahead. No, you're good.
Go ahead, Dara.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, kind of going back to like you. I'll hog the spotlight again. But kind of like what you were saying about earlier about that about life, and we're going to have sometimes more failures than success. I mean, you just take a look at some of the people like Harlan Sanders didn't become a big success until really late in his years, and you take a look at others. It was only later in their years, their trial and error, but they were doing things that they liked or had passion about, and that's going to be the other thing. Passion. Do you have a passion for this? It's more than just a like. Is it a passion, and you don't care? You're still going to do it, and they can see that real passion. But even though I'm an Orthodox Lutheran, I still have a bit of the old country, Viking roots have on the outlook of faith. It's like it's like the Norns say that the tapestry is woven. There's going to be an end. We don't know when that end is, but no matter what, you could be healthy as an ox, and you'll drop over, or you'll get stomped on by a dinosaur, and we try to figure out where the hell this dinosaur came from. But that's the end of your day, whatever it is. But it's up to you to make that journey. That is in your hands. It's what you do. Are you going to just give up? Are you going to keep on battling on? Are you going to wallow in self-pity? Are you just going to pick yourself up and go, man, that sucked. What if I do this? And content creation is just like that. We'll go out there. We think we have a great idea, and but then we start going. But just be true to yourself.
Right. Well, no one has there been a great idea on paper, and then when you actually put it to use, it's not working out as good as it looked on paper.
Yeah, it's sometimes like
you have to pop sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to put things into practice and all this stuff. But like it's not me trying. I'm not here to be argumentative. It's me trying to give and Jet Sparks also.
Yeah, I see it.
With all the crap that's in entertainment nowadays, I'm trying to bring back the things that made things great and enjoyable, and not to preach to anybody, but it's going to be co-opted for someone's agenda. Life sucks, dude. You know what? You want to know? Like we were just talking about earlier. You know what the worst? But like how I'm risking that. But also, I also said that if I do get my books out there, people are going to backlash on me. Look, life sucks.
That's unfortunately going to happen. There's always going to be someone who's going to criticize your work. It doesn't matter if it's a book. It doesn't matter if it's a painting. There's someone that's going to be out there to criticize.
And then he brought up that new one.
Yeah, I see.
But the problem is people are just being conditioned to accept mediocrity and crap. And look, I get it. I'm hearing where you're at. But this, again, you keep going down this road, and it's just going to keep up bringing more excuses to not do something. All I can tell you is you've got a finite time, and you'll either be 6 feet under or dust in the wind. Do you really want to let the world hold you back from just creating what you want to do? Creating is it lump with the 90% of stuff that's absolute garbage. I'm trying to make something great. No, that's great. Good. There you have a point right there. You're generally trying to make something great. Good. Keep with it. If it doesn't work, try something else. No one, I can't tell you what to do. Mike can't tell you. Cash Money, Baron, we can't tell you what to do. All I'm just saying to you on the general scale is that don't let.
It's something you yourself have to decide what you want to do.
Yes, you have to decide it, and you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't bring it up personal. I get the downtrodden of the world, but dude, man, I am so I get I don't not all not too bad to the degree, but I get sad when you hear about the teens and people who just end it because they don't see any hope at the end of the day, and they see that life is just it. There's nothing else after the fact. Like there's nothing great for them out there, so they have to end it.
When they had so much ahead of them.
Well, when there's so much to have out there. Yeah. No, yeah, you kind of
well,
jumped a bit.
As we were talking about before. Oh, sorry about that. But you're a Monty Python fan. We've talked about that before we came on a little bit. But it's like out of the life of Brian. Always look on the bright side of life, and they have that brilliant life line in there. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. That's such a wise song as much as it's funny, and you have to look at that. But we have to persevere. We have to try to make it less crappy as we go along and try to do our best, and that's the best we can do is do our best. If we don't try to do our best, then what does it matter?
Well, and it's not just. I just don't want anyone to know about it until it's ready for. Understandable, I get it. Understandable, but just remember, we're on the clock, man. We're on the clock. Sometimes you're just gonna have to just go out there and do. If you're scared about it or whatever, I'm not gonna sit here and try to psychoanalyze it. I'm just saying you're on a clock. We're all on the clock. Don't take forever. Don't take forever, because as soon as you think you're good to go, you're gonna be like, you may be like, oh, you know what? It's not good enough. I got to go back to the drawing board.
Or you become George R.R. Martin, never finished that book.
Well, he did help. He did help with making Elden Ring. So I mean, there is that. But he probably just throws things in his way to keep him from not doing, or just keep. You know what? At a certain point, people are just gonna have to give up on George R.R. Martin and be like, yeah, he's not gonna do it.
I've never read any of his stuff. I've never seen the TV show. I've never read his books. I refuse to read his books until I refuse until that last one comes out, and even then I have to flip a coin, and I hope that it's a double-headed coin, and I pick the side that's not on that coin. Really not intent, with that. But yeah, I mean, it's that promissory going out. If you don't like it, if it's something you truly do not enjoy, then you have to walk away. As much as Barbie really wants to do it, but it's like, I mean, for me, I've been many things in this life. Ups and downs, stuff like that. So what do? You just pick yourself up. And of course, I'm finding bringing back my broadcasting days here from WTCN Stillwater, 12:20 a.m. Bringing a bit of that here on doing YouTube. It's like a little vanity of all vanities to do this. But more importantly, because it's fun. And I would never dream of leaving this show because, don't tell these two up above me. I kind of like them. It's kind of.
Well, you know what happens if you leave?
Extinction to all traitors!
Yes, I got a it's in my contract. I was foolish enough to have Fran Drescher do my contract for me.
Wow. Oof, that's a hit below the belt in so many ways, more than one. Ouch.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing all I can to make the most enrapturing and engaging stories. If that's the route you want to go with, man, I'm just saying, if you're not enjoying the writing yourself, if you're not enjoying the writing yourself for yourself, than trying to capture all the engagement. That's me. It's been for, so I'm just going to be more driven. And there you go. All right, you've got your train on the tracks. See where it goes. That's all I'm going to say. See, you're on, your train is on the tracks. See where it goes. No one else can tell you differently.
But the only quote unquote self-help book I could ever recommend to anybody, because I don't necessarily believe in them, but there's one I think is important. Dennis Prager's "Happiness is a Serious Problem," and and we're not talking about sunshine, lollipop, unicorn farts. We're talking about our outlook on life, our outlook on us individuals, and how. Oh wow! Did I do that? I didn't do that. I'm innocent this time, folks.
I kicked something. That's my fault.
But I do that too. Might be a dog sometimes that gets in my way, but that's beside.
Whoa, hey, whoa, okay. The show is canceled. He kicks the dog. Hold on, everyone.
Well, I got a dog.
Yes, this is Mike at Pacific414. I take no responsibility for what Baron did. As far as I'm concerned, the guy's dead to me.
I'm dead to a lot of people. I'm dead to me. Come on.
Wow. You know what?
I know
he redeemed himself with that one. I think you're okay to accept him back, Pacific. He redeemed himself with that one. That's good. That's good. No, I understand. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, but that's just it. And we kind of have to have that attitude here. Like one of the things I tell Mike, when he was talking to me about with radio and all that, I said, if you're not showing your face, they can tell if people can tell if you're faking it or not. And even in when the mic's not on or whatever, if you're smile, be emotive, even if you're not on the screen, because people see that still. I mean, you just imagine when you're listening to a radio show, and you can tell when they're phoning it in and when they're truly having fun, right? Like a lot of these modern day morning shows, they're just phoning it in crap. And that's why I hate terrestrial radio. But when you get, a group of people that are talking, and even if you don't see them, you can still see that. You can still see that smile that they have, and it was genuine.
No, the one thing that would be interesting to see if they'd ever bring it. Yeah, the one thing that'd be interesting to see if they'd ever bring back is if not like the old shows like the Green Hornet or the Shadow, whatever, but shows that were kind of like that sort of thing where they were just they relied on the imagination, with a little help from the banging and all the stuff, the items they used to make noise, but stuff like that, because that's because I mean nowadays you see people do like audiobooks and podcasts while they work and stuff, and that's when something can activate the imagination, you can't see it per se. I mean, those would be interesting, but who knows if people want to do that or not. You're gonna have a whole smorgasbord of stuff. Well, okay, maybe I'm you, sure, yeah, but I'm talking like more beyond you.
Is there more beyond me? Aren't I all?
Oh, good. All right. Someone's being a little too. Now you can kick him off, Mike. He's being a little.
See, Dara. This is where Baron usually sits kneel before Baron, and Cash and I just look at each other. Go, no.
For Baron, by Baron, for Baron again. There we go.
I carry the show. Damn it! No.
You two wouldn't be anything without me. I carry the show on my back. You guys are all worthless, and then it's just like, I don't hear from him anymore. What happened to him?
I keep on saying, Mike, you got to have Baron Orman Tagge presents Pop Talk. Pacific414 Pop Talk.
How about new?
How about mini me? Oh my mini me. Oh goodness, that's too funny.
I call him.
I know, and you know what? You're but I agree with you 100%. But I love listening to those old radio shows and up. Because again, you can sit there and you can relax listening to it all and get lost in them. And like the old what is it? The old horror or horror
Yeah.
radio show. I'm going
Yeah.
over there and listen to the multitude because it's not a horror,
Yeah.
but and you can start finding out how the origins of the stuff we love
Yeah.
today came about.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say she's not a whore either, but horror's where it's at. But anyway. No, I'm
Hey, what do you call me? A
no,
whore?
no.
Well,
I am
you
a
always
YouTuber.
say you're willing to go on any channel, so
Yeah, I'm a YouTube. I mean, that's what
True.
Fat Steven called me. Fat Steven called me a YouTube whore.
He would just about call anyone a whore, so we'll just leave it at that
Yeah.
for Fat Steven.
That's
I'm not even
true.
arguing with
That's
that.
true. Yeah,
Hey,
he's
I
a-
haven't heard him say that of me, but I'm pretty sure there are some behind the door scene stuff where he said something. I'm on to you, JFG.
Oh,
I'm onto you.
oh, don't worry. If it's behind the door, it'll be in your face in no time with him. He doesn't hold back.
Yeah, that's true. He
That's what I love
doesn't
about
hold
him.
back. Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
He doesn't hold back. He could be upfront with you if he wants, or he could be annoying too. But that's
Yeah.
that's a different side of that coin.
Well, yeah,
that's
but
Steven
he's
being
still a
Steven.
great guy.
though.
Yeah,
But he's still a great guy. He's always got your back if you don't mess
that's
with him.
that's you know what? Instead of that's so Raven, it's that's so Steven.
There we go.
He
Yeah.
could be like, son of a bitch.
Well, don't tell him this, but Fats is a good guy. So, but don't let him know I said that. Okay.
Being fat is a good.
I've told him that.
I
He's told
call
me to
Fat.
shut up.
Yeah. No, I worked with Fats. I call Fat Steven Fats because I worked with him on the Kings.
Oh,
So
the
so,
Kings.
yeah,
Is that
the
Primetime Kings of
Oh,
YouTube with 24/7 Fusion Media. I'll get his link
okay.
so you can check it out.
24/7 Fusion Media. We're
Primetime-
gonna blow this shit up.
Primetime Kings just makes it sound like it's some kind of like sports tournament or something. Welcome to Primetime
Prime
Kings.
9. This is like the Kings of Comedy, Primetime Kings
we
of Comedy or
love
something.
sports.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sorry. I'm just starting to think of some of the stuff that we did.
No.
But yeah. In the beginning was Fats. Fats was with me. Vigilante Williamson, of course, 24/7 Fusion. Then Fats left, and they replaced him with New Bomb Turk. I never really got to know him that well, but Fats obviously Vig in 24. They're all great guys. Always fun to be with. It was kind of a similar show like Mike has, similar, but it was still different.
Yeah, it's a lot because I mean I know
We were
I mean
crazy.
I don't remember how I met him, but I know he does stuff for WoW Pro and the Valiant or Valiant, one of the two.
Yeah, Valiant Renegade and
Valiant Renegade.
WDW Pro and
It's WD. Oh, almost makes it sound like it's another new wrestling term right there. WD Pro.
welcome to the WDW, bro.
I was
Right.
thinking more of this a replacement for WD-40, but that's hard. Don't mind me.
You're wrong. No, you could have gone with your Wong. That would have been so much better if you'd done your Wong. That would have been worked. See, this kid's right here is a missed opportunity. I don't know what to tell you, but life just happens. All streamers are addicted to attention and have an ego. Well, all humans have an ego. Like let's cut out the streamer part. All humans have a form of ego. Like there's no and all people want a form of attention. It's not just streamers. Like that's a human thing.
Right.
That's a human thing. It's not just the nature of streaming, it's the nature of humanity. Now there are some people who have lesser, sure, but there is a form of ego to some degree.
Right.
But I mean it's not just stuck to streaming. I mean almost all human beings to some degree. I think it's just the nature of humanity, man.
Yep, it's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, we're social creatures. We're pack animals. We like to be together. And of course, when you're together, obviously, it's like, okay, it's my time to put something in. Of course, it's a matter of how do you check your ego? It's okay to have an ego, but do you have it in check? Right? You're not too full of yourself. You're not too arrogant. Or like I am on this show, when these two make a mistake about something in the past, I go,
But we all correct each other. We all correct each other when we make mistakes.
Yeah.
Baron,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell
But
you
yeah,
right
we
now.
correct each other, but
All right, Baron,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you, Baron, right now, you're frozen, first off, and two, you're kind of lagging behind. So it's probably what hits that point of like missing points or whatever. I just wanted to say something because you do come in and out and freeze up and stuff. So just in case you think I'm
My
trying to talk
internet.
over you.
It's my internet.
Yeah. So don't think I'm trying to talk over you. It's just like
Oh, I don't think you are. No, you're the guest anyways. You're supposed to.
Well, no, and I've been on like part of it is like when I was like for panel show and stuff. Like I do Rumble. Sure, I do Rumble Squared, but it's not to a lot of people. Like a lot of people on, but it's like I would follow like Friday Night Tights by Neurotics and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want something like that because it loses the conversation. You have a guest. You have a guest that like they have a guest in the center, and they have all the crew and their stuff around it. It's like majority of the time the guest is in the center, and they're just the guest is pretty quiet. Sometimes they're up there and talking, but more majority of times there's quiet. And it's like I want a conversation to continue. So that's why like with me, I don't hate panels, but it's always a difficulty because you're having this person over here talking to that person, this and that, and all over the place. It's just like, where's the conversation at?
Right.
Like, it just gets lost between everyone else, and that's always been a fickler for doing big panels. Like this is fine. But,
Oh yeah, that's.
I've learned the lesson the hard way, Dara. I used to have panels where there would be the maximum 10 people on, and everybody's overlapping on each other, trying to get their point across. And I learned that you have to have smaller panels. This way, everybody gets a chance to have their piece.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah. Oh, go on.
No, I was about to say, I was like, you stopped at one point. You froze at one point. It's like you said something, but it's like, what?
Yeah. You're going like this, Barrett. It's like you're trying to call out of work and you're on your cell phone. Yeah, I won't.
What? Can you hear me now? What? No. Hold on. I'm in. Oh, over here. Hold on. It just reminds me of the Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Hold on. No. I said 8. No, not 6. I said 8. What? Oh, you're in the tunnel. Hold on. Hey. Oh no, his picture froze too.
Gotcha.
No, that was so. I had a guest on earlier this week who was in Thailand. No, Vietnam. Sorry, he was in Vietnam, but he's originally from South Africa. So there would be points in the conversation where his internet would just drop. Like you could hear robot, and you couldn't. His image wouldn't move and all that stuff. So when his video began to move again, that's when I knew he was going to be okay. But there would be times where I'm like, stop, because I want to be able to hear him and stuff, or get whatever he's saying heard. But like that's just the nature of it. That's another thing too. Is like if you don't have internet, or if your internet is gone for good, like that ends the content creator right there. Because there's you can't do this thing without internet. You could upload video, sure, but beyond that point, without constant internet, being a content creator is just pointless.
Right.
It's just unfortunately that's the nature of that beast. I almost feel like because you were fine. I think maybe it's the conjunction of your video and your audio. Maybe that's the issue because when you weren't having your video up, I don't think you had that issue of the audio going in and out.
No, he didn't.
I get it. You don't want to see my ugly face.
I don't care. I don't care about seeing your face. I just like. Oh, there you go.
Dear leader. He's got his dear leader up.
I am your fearless leader.
Oh, crap.
For $9.99.
So lonely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at these Hollywood people. Oh. Matt Damon.
Well, I mean, I can have that, but I don't think I will.
Matt Damon.
But Dara, when I was on your channel a few weeks ago, you had a question that you asked me, which I did answer, and I wanted to know if you wanted to ask Cash and Baron a question.
I think that was during when we were doing the questions, the questions from a hat. I think that was a little question on your part because I can't, look, I I enjoy all the people I have on, but do remember I am human. So to remember everything I said in the conversation with someone, that's going to be a little difficult.
No,
We
I'm not
talked.
asking you to recall,
Shame.
what the question was and the conversation was. I just want to know if you want to
Oh,
ask them a question since you already asked me a question.
oh yeah. How dare you? No, I'm just.
How
Very-
dare you?
No. No.
How dare you?
No. No, well, it's kind of well. What I mean for
Right.
Cash, he. It's great that he spoke up at times, but I'm not sure like what kind of person he is, and is he more of a lay? Are you more of a laid back person and enjoying the conversation, or are you more when it comes to a point of something that comes up you want to discuss? Are you more into it or not? Because I think it's one of those things where you have taken more of a laid back approach for this stream. Again, I'm only knowing you
Well,
for the first time, so I don't want to assume anything. Although I
well,
could, and it'd be a
that's
great,
right.
it'd probably be a fun time.
I,
That's
I,
right.
I'll give you a
Uh,
little hint, Dara. I'll give you a hint.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Your mom.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
His
You
mom.
put a
That's right.
quarter in.
Yeah. His mom.
Yeah.
No. In these situations, man, I just like to sit back, especially when we have a guest on, because it's all
Mm.
about you.
Well,
In other,
don't stop on my account because I'm part of the conversation. Don't.
so we want you to talk as much as possible because you're the guest. So no, I think it's good. The problem is I like to listen, and
Mhm.
then I also like to add to the conversation. But if I get passionate about something, sure, I'll be like, now hold on, and, and then I need to back off because it's like, once again, I have to always remember, just like anybody who uses their
Mhm.
brain, that it's not just about you. There's more
Mhm.
people in here, just like if you're on Discord or whatever.
Right. Right.
So I think it's good to sit back and just listen. Now, if
Mhm.
the conversation is getting boring and stuff, then you start doing some drugs on the side. No, I'm kidding, but
So that's how you get through Pop Talk most of the time.
that's right.
Here,
But no,
here.
seriously, man.
You want the short answer, Dara? This is a short answer.
Cash money. I don't see the Cash App. I don't know if that's Cash App or not. But anyway.
Well, it's either
The Cash App,
that
yeah.
or he's doing this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
BG3. Oh yeah, I remember that when that was going on. No, it's just a
No,
question. It's just
no.
I get what you're saying. It's sort of like you find that's the thing for me too, is like when I have somebody on just one-on-one, some people are a talker and some people aren't, and that's okay. The point of it is like a host, as a host, or whatever you call yourself, a Walmart creator, it doesn't matter. The point is you have to find your spots, right? Because
Yes.
if you have a really big talker on, and I can talk, but I also want to give people the stage as well. If you have a talker on, you have to find the points where you can interrupt and you can bring your whatever it is or carry on to something else, because there are people who again, there are people who have a lot to say but they don't get the opportunity to say it, and that's another point to provide as well. Like any host would hopefully really is to provide a space for someone just to talk about whatever, because there's a lot of there's a lot of stupid stuff we'll talk about whatever, and that's okay. Sometimes it's just word vomit, or sometimes it's what is called useless information, but it's not useless. It's just it has its moment in time, and when it does get its moment in time, you could bring up, hey, Paul McCartney's mom was a midwife, and then after that you can continue with all this stuff. But yeah, that's what
Yeah, we've had a few big talkers. There's this guy Keith. He's a big talker.
Oh yeah.
You just sit back and you just listen to Keith talk, and that's okay. That's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, when we have a guest on any
Mhm.
show, it's important that, especially if they're promoting stuff and whatever, we want them to talk a lot. If somebody comes on and they don't talk that much, it's kind of like, but you're the guest, like, speak,
Mhm.
Mhm.
speak. No, but really,
Are you
it's
deaf, man? Can you not hear me?
I told you. Yeah,
Speaky.
that's
Okay,
right.
we just got a strike there. Okay.
No, yeah, no, that's
mhm.
no, but I mean that's you seeing it. That's you seeing like when your time to enter in and when your time to just kind of hold back. And that should be no, okay. That would be something I would think most hosts would strive for, is being able, because again, a conversation can be bountiful and it could be about whatever's the occasion. It doesn't have to be tied to the current situation at hand that you see time and time again. The other content
No,
creators
it doesn't.
the current gaming, the current
Right. Well,
topic of
they go, we have to do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, this is not right. And I was told to do this way. And I heard on Reddit and all these other things that you do it this way. But that's unfortunately like how people do act. And they're like, Reddit is their own like God and stuff. It's really crazy. And like, even Reddit has its own problems, just like anything.
Well, according to Grok, you have to do it this way. According to Chat GPT, you have to do it that way.
Chat GPT told me how to tie my shoes today. Chat GPT told me how to comb my hair. Chat GPT told me this.
Well,
but there are people, unfortunately, who do. It's even been shown that even parents are like, oh, Chat GPT can teach my kids how to do stuff because I don't want to be a good parent. And that sounds horrible to say, but that's how people are. Yeah. And it's really sad.
It's
take it easy on Chat GPT. It taught me how to poop. Okay.
It's the over reliance on. It's like the same thing when parents would just put their kid, not all, but there were some parents that would put their kids in front of TV, and that would be that'd be their babysitter. It's the over reliance. Look, there's a great time to rely on a tool, a great time to use a tool, but the over reliance on the tool to basically live life for you. That's where the wrongness comes from, and it's not always an intentional thing. Sometimes it's just by accident or it happens out of the blue. But it's the over reliance on the thing to live for you, right? Like you'll have people who won't do very much with life because they just don't want to make decisions, and unfortunately in life you kind of have, even the hard ones, even the ones you don't like, you do have to make decisions, and all this stuff. But it's just. I use Claude. I've used Grok in the past, but I use Claude mostly for all, majority of my stuff. But I don't use it as like the little thing you used to see as a kid where you do like the fold thing and it said like 4 and then you do it again and you flip the piece of paper and it said like the color red and all that stuff. You don't want to live life on that. Tools are meant to help. They're meant to help grease a wheel. They're help to make things move quicker or whatever. They're not there to take your life. Again, TV was used for that occasion with some parents with their kids. It really was, but it's just a variation of what people use it for.
Well, the thing is, with that tool, sometimes it turns into a trap and we don't realize we got sucked into that trap.
Right.
And that's obviously what happened, like you were saying about television and, of course, the internet and all the other stuff. It's like it went from just here, do this for a moment while I take care of this with a parent to the fact that, okay, I'll have Big Bird bring up my child while I'm doing all this stuff now. And, again, everything in moderation, right? In it by itself isn't bad. The escapism isn't bad. But when you let the escapism become your world, well, that's where we get the blue-haired land whales running around, barking about, like we were talking about before, entitlements and stuff like that. It's like no, you have you're entitled to live, but other than that, I'm not entitled to give you anything but courtesy.
That's right.
I ain't entitled to give you crap, so shut the crap up. No.
Exactly. Or more importantly, something like this.
That's right. I said, I ain't giving you no tree fitty, you goddamn Loch Ness monster. Get your own goddamn money.
I gave him a
tree fitty. I remember, God come up there, and he said, I need to buy a tree fitty. And I said, where is he? You're the Loch Ness monster. Don't give him no tree fitty.
Damn, he's good. He's good.
I enjoyed that part. That was back when we had Jeff and stuff. Like, oh, Dad, don't talk about it. I was like, oh, Dad, I was coming by one time and I saw this little girl. She said, "Can you give me a tree fitting?" I said, "That's a Loch Ness monster right there." Some good parts about South Park right there, but
there was there was funny stuff before on South Park. Yeah.
Oh goodness, that's too funny.
I miss that.
Yeah, Terrence and Phillip and stuff and so on. And even the South Park movie, like it was just when it came out, you're like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I love this. Because it was just so over the top. It was great.
I thought it was
Operation Darkies and stuff. I laughed so
Yeah,
hard. And they said, you know,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you always remember when Chef will talk about his salty chocolate balls. Always.
Yes, right.
In the
They
song.
brought big gay Al and stuff as the entertainment for the troops and stuff. Thanks for
Yeah.
asking. Yeah, it's,
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
thanks for asking. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole song.
So funny.
Oh, good Lord, that's too hilarious. But no, I, that's great. At least for you, Cash, and that you can see that. And I think the greatest tool is when you keep exploring it and keep because I think the greatest conversationalists are the ones who know when to strike, when to pull back, and when to use the right words. Like there's sometimes you just have to trial and error that stuff, but like you just if you're willing, that's what like I know I have the title of the great conversationalist, but and the story behind that is like um I kind of got these sort of idea from the Journey to the West, where the Monkey King would call himself the Great Sage equal to heaven. I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. He gave himself a name because that's what he wanted. Maybe it was more of boasting, which the one title I've given myself is not about boasting. It's more of trying to live up to it. The great conversationalist. How do you become a great conversationalist? Well, you talk to a lot of people. You look at how words work and stuff and all that, and try to better on how to do that. But it's not about boasting like you could say for the Monkey King. It's more of just like creating something that has something you can live up to, and it can be endless because a conversation with someone else can be quite different than another person, and so you're trying to rework the puzzle and bettering your ability to speak. And I know I'm not the most charismatic person in the world. I don't have to be. I just have to know words, and when you know how to better your words and stuff, well, and you can be pretty set, but it's never ending, really.
Well, yeah, people judge us by the words we use. William F. Buckley used to open the dictionary every day and just blindly flip through and point a finger, and whatever word his finger came onto, he would try to use that word at least once that day to help improve the vocabulary and such. But yeah, I mean, what you're talking about also is reading the room. And I explain that a lot of time. You need to read the room, gauge who you're talking to, know what boundaries they are, and try to read them. Even like I said, even if you can't see them, you can tell by how they talk and what you've seen of them before, if you had, so on. You know which boundaries you can push. You know which directions you can go. And for some it's easier than others, but it's still an art. It's still an art because there's no science to it.
Yeah,
there is no science because a person's mood might change. They might be coming in with a bad mood, and it goes south on you fast. Boom.
Well, I wouldn't say there's not a science to it. It's more of like what you build up through what you converse with, and then trying to find those points. Like I there have been times where, to give a good example, I had a lady on. Her name is Wendy, and she's from the Netherlands, and so her English is not the greatest, but she can understand it and she can speak some of it. But there will be times where she will be trying to find the English word because she speaks. I don't know what the actual term for the Netherlands language is, but she'll be trying to find the English word to equate what she's trying to get across. So there will be a moment in time where she's just trying to, maybe she'll stutter a bit, maybe she'll whatever, but she'll eventually find the word, or your help will find the word, or you'll help eventually find the word, or whatever. But there's people like that. There are people like I've had where they said that I'm anxious or I don't know I'm important enough. And all that Dutch. That's right, Dutch. I'm sorry. I didn't know what the technical word for it. But there's also times where people like they'll say they're anxious, or they say they won't have anything worth of value. It's like, let me prove you wrong on that regard. And usually I do. So I've been successful so far on doing that. But I think it's more of like a funny joke to myself. Like I have proved to an anxious person that you don't have to worry, and I've proved to a person who said they don't see themselves as interesting, and yet I was able to hold a conversation with them for more than an hour. So I guess I proved them wrong.
Yeah.
when you can prove someone
in a good way, you prove them wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a two-way street though. You proved to them that you were able to prove them wrong, and then they began to see that okay, so maybe what I have to say isn't that uninteresting. And that's really the point of the matter is the whole ability of using this tool, the internet, and having this ability to connect with people across the way from like the Netherlands is like 6 hours ahead from where I'm at. So that's like 6 hours of a time zone difference right there. And yet we can be on the page at the same time, just milliseconds. Just milliseconds. And it's right there, and we're able to have a conversation across the way. I've again talked to people from Australia, South Africa, Alaska, Norway, Finland. It's almost all the English speaking part. All right, my secondary language not so good, so we're not going to go there. But but just no habla español, señor. That's that's just the most American way to say it. No no habla español. What? Okay.
Yeah, from America, no snacka English. There we go.
Bibliotechnica. You just throw out words. You just start throwing out words. Oh my goodness. But no, that's no, but again, that's a good thing to have. Cash to know the difference. And that is for anyone. To know the difference of when to enter in. And it's also a best in the host to like be able to provide that moment so people can have their say. Because again, going back to like the big panels, right? Like you could have a show and the host can just let it run away. And that's understandable. People love chaos. But it's like you have someone there who doesn't know how to speak out very much. And you have to figure out how to give them that space. So like if they try to say something like, oh hey, hold on. He wanted to say something, let him say. And I'll hatred. But again, that's a host thing, right? A host has to find that, have to find that point where a guest, that's a different set of ordeals. It almost is like it's almost like one of those jungle gyms you used to play on as a kid. But when you find your way around stuff, you're like, you can just slip and slide through stuff just to get through there quicker. Like, I want to get to the slide first. And there's like two people ahead of you, like, just get right in there. So that was my question for Cash Money. We're going to go to commercial here. So for the next 2 minutes, how much money have we raised on the board there? But I guess it can ask Baron then.
We're saying at minus 250 right now.
Oh, that's a sad show right there. But I mean, I think you
minus 350. We're minus 320.
Well, that's a Loch Ness monster right there. Don't even listen to him. But I mean, for you, Baron, you are you said you were a radio host. I think it is, right? Or you used to do radio?
Well, I was a DJ announcer. I used to work for WTCN, which was a very small station in the town of Stillwater in Minnesota. It's no longer around. And of course, I was announcer because our church would broadcast over the air about 3 different stations. But I was their one of their announcers that they had, so I would do the announcement and, if need be, the benediction, stuff like that. I did that for several years. Did some commercials. Been in some productions. Most notably, Let's Bowl. If you ever heard of that one or saw that from Comedy Central.
No,
DJ.
Just go back to the sideline. He said DJ. He didn't mean you. Just go back to the side. We'll call you when we need you. We'll say DJ Ron.
DJ Ron.
I did not say
Turtles.
And it's Turtles.
I didn't say nerd. Okay, I didn't say nerd.
Come on, DJ. You know that's your call. Whenever we say nerd, one of us says nerd.
Goodness sake.
I started saying that to that poor lad, but no, but I was involved in all that, but like you said, things change. Back with his turtles. But with that, I had a variety of other jobs that I did, and other than, like I said, doing that announcing like every other Sunday, for several years. I wasn't really involved in the entertainment except for little things here and there.
Right.
Let's Bowl, that was like 2001. I did that one. Was on an
Mhm.
episode of that.
Mhm.
And then they tried to do a reality series around a group that I was involved in, and they were trying to focus it, particularly my family, and that was about. I did Viking Age reenactment and lecturing. We would go out and we dress up and put up all our little Viking stuff, but then instead of going out and playing roles, we were doing more of the explaining and talking and lecturing and whatnot for that.
I was never taught. Oh my god, I am so sorry. I thought you were making a joke. I am so sorry, Tree Rock. I actually thought you were making a joke because there are people who say something like that. But he said, I'm currently learning phonics to really learn how to read better. I just recently discovered why I have trouble speaking and reading. I was never taught phonics. Hey, you know what? I was I was taught home phonics. What was it? It wasn't Hooked on Phonics. That's right. It was called Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah.
And my mom had bought like it was the old cassette tapes and stuff. It's not like the new stuff. But it was like B. It was like da 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 da. A is for apple, B is for bat, and all this stuff. And I think that's kind of what's helped when I was younger, is having that sort of thing and made a sing along and all that sort of stuff. Sort of like how Sesame Street did their stuff. Like, you can never look at one of the old things and say, I didn't know that. Like when you see the pinball thing and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, great. Now you got him going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ping, 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 ping.
Hey, we can't forget the electric company too, and of course you had Spider-Man in there, and you never talked. You only had the thought of the voice, little bubbles.
Growing up watching Mr. Rogers and all the great messages that show has, it still has for kids and a lot of people actually. Yeah.
This is called a flamethrower, kid.
Here's a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Or that joke they did on Family Guy. You can be my neighbor. It's so ridiculous.
Hey, let's not forget Bob Ross. He's another one. That's for us adults that he was a good teacher, not just of art.
You have to beat the devil out of it. You just have to beat the devil.
And here we go, and here's a happy little bush, and that happy little bush is hiding the body that we deposited into this woods. But but other than that, I did all sorts of stuff. But and that's why I grabbed. Well, I was literally forced to do YouTube by my family. They kept on going because I was pish-pawing YouTube. I was denouncing YouTubers as pretty much what a lot of people sit back and just a bunch of my thoughts on TikTokers now.
Hold on. I just wanted to say you're probably the only. He's bringing up old word kids. He's bringing on pish paw. Yeah, I didn't know. I just wanted to point that out. He brought up pish paw. That's old school talk.
Well,
yes, it is.
Hey, I'm the archivist here. I'm the one that's actually the worst on pop culture of today. That's why I leave it to those two guys above me. Cash with his video games and Mike with other. I'm the archivist where I bring up all the old stuff because.
Hey, no, I was just saying that was rad. I was just saying that.
Yeah.
Was rad.
Karen's all offended.
I'm not offended.
Is he trying to offend me?
No, I'm explaining me. It's like that. So you're gonna. I throw out stuff that those guys don't. Huh? It's like, come on, you don't know that. But so I'm used to it. I know it's one of my signatures. And
this is what I was always expecting you to do to Dara.
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
My anger issues aren't that bad.
I like the one where he's doing like I don't know who does it, but sticks his head in the toilet. It's like, where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Come on, Lebowski. Don't be a big man about it. Where's the money? No, I was just about to ask. No, I was just about to ask how for your
Yeah.
radio stuff days. How well do you think that's translated over for doing the YouTube side of things?
Oh, greatly, because I did train for it for 2 years in high school. I actually went to the technical. Well, they call it a technical college now, but it was Hemby County Tech Center, and I took audio visual there, so working with cameras and
Mhm.
working with doing radio stuff, preparing stuff, making commercials. Then I went
Mhm.
to an actual school after that. No longer exists. It's called the School of Communication Arts, and it's no longer around. My teacher was a former producer of news and such at our local ABC affiliate at Hubbard Broadcasting. Um, and of course, moving on, I did a little bit of radio, helping some people do their programs, just being the guy that quote quotes asks the questions that the person is supposed to answer, kind of a, it's their way to, explanatory thing type of thing, all stage, but nothing bad.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it really taught me. I can tell you one thing: WKRP in Cincinnati is not fiction; it is real. In
Mhm.
fact, most of the stories they have on there are from real events. So what you
Mhm.
see on that show, it happens in a lot of radio stations back in that day, obviously before we
Mhm.
got corporate radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, it 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 taught me to be able to communicate over the first of all, to be able to switch.
Mhm.
So I mean, as you can tell right now, I'm completely serious. I go on when I go on, it's like, yeah, you putting on a personality. I'm, like earlier, I was, being a little bit more of the wild Baron, but
Mhm.
now I'm being serious here and be able to do that switch and know where that line is. It's
Mhm.
still me, no matter what you get. I mean, if I'm
Mhm.
a wild guy, it's still me. I'm not playing a
Yeah.
role. It's just me. I'm just letting myself loose. This time, serious because we're in that conversation. And that's where
Mhm.
you also have to know is when to switch. And that's part of that
Mhm.
reading the room. And that's what you did with radio. Um and of course, make it personal. I mean, if you're talking out there, uh yeah, you might have a lot of people listening to you, but you talk like you're talking to an individual, that way the person who hears you
Mhm.
uh thinks that you're talking to them. And in some ways, I hope that's kind of the same thing, that, if I'm talking, you're wrong thinks I'm talking right at him.
Mhm.
And so on and so forth, that he's part of that conversation in that aspect of it. And that's how you have to kind of look at it,
Mhm.
whether it's one person or many. And also, you learn to not get unnerved when you get the fan letter from the Stillwater prison written in crayon. you know,
Mom.
and I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I walk down on the board. There's this letter, this fan letter for the whole station, not just me,
Mhm.
written in crayon from one of the prisoners. And it's like, oh, boy.
Well, he may not agree with that, but you can try. You're still
Yeah.
called "You're wrong," though. I think you should have still gone with your wrong. If you
Yeah.
could bring up the tree thing, though, uh, uh, Mike. Tree
Uh,
Creation says, "I'm discovering new words and learning how to pronounce them every day, which will help with my
mm,
writing as well. It's difficult to write when you don't have the vocabulary to express, and that is very true. And it's sad to see that because the same thing with
mm,
swimming. There are a
mm,
lot of adults who don't know how to swim, and it's a very sad day when they wanna they have kids of their own or whatever, and they can't go out and swim with them because they don't know how to swim. And so I have a mom who would teach in that regard, teach swimming lessons or whatever, and
mm,
there would be adults who would take adult swimming lessons, and you would see them struggle, and you would see them
mhm,
learn a new skill, and it's just saying well, remember when they used to say the 3 basic R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic? Those are the foundations for pretty much the whole world.
Yep.
Like, if you don't have those 3 things, it is a very difficult. I'm not saying you have to yeah, sure, you can go for calculus or geometry or whatever stuff. No, you need the 3 basic foundations that actually make an
mhm,
individual. If you don't know how to read, then you can't know how to do the other stuff. If you don't know how to do basic math, and I'm talking like the basic of math, then the other
Yeah.
stuff won't make sense either. If you don't know how to at
mhm,
least do the basics of writing, then you'll never explore how to be a great writer and all that stuff that includes that. There's a lot of stuff that those 3 things
mhm,
lead to the ultimate different
Yep.
dimensions,
Hmm.
and a lot of people are missing that.
But it, yeah.
yeah. And
But
it kind of leads into the question that you asked me, because what did radio help with? Well, it helped you to find new words to use, how to enunciate them and try to get them out there.
Mm,
It helped you, it forced you to go out of those comfort zones in some areas, because you didn't want to be thought of as a complete git on the air. And of course, finding like pish posh, just finding these odd words that they might be older or whatnot, but hey, let's bring them forward. I don't care if they're old or not, because it's bringing in a new something that gets somebody's attention.
mm,
And so, what do you want to do on YouTube? You want to get attention, yeah, ego, but you keep your ego in check. Uh, and that it helped me throughout my other stuff, like when I was doing lecturing in the Vikings,
mm,
standing in front of a crowd of se- you know sometimes there's a huge large crowd. You walk out there and go, oh boy, and it's like a TED talk I'm doing here.
mm,
um but yeah, and not be intimidated by it. Again, you do that focus on one person
mm,
trick, but then they think everyone, which of course helped come from the radio training. So it helped me become a personable person. It doesn't hurt that I like to talk with people.
uh-huh. Well,
But
no, yeah,
and then,
but yeah, but the also the point also should be made is that it shows because you are a talker yourself.
right.
You can talk, you can generate all stuff. And for Jet Sparks, I understand that, but that's bad self-talk, man. That's like really I'm
Mhm.
pretty pathetic because I'm not as coordinated is as swimming as I should be. Well, and that's understandable, but again, as long as you're alive, you have the opportunity to go learn how to better your swimming. Like it's there, it's out there. Sure, you may be embarrassed. I'm an adult. I should have known how to swim. Well, guess what? Life sucks. Some parents don't have their kids swim. Guess what? You have as an adult. You have the opportunity to learn how to swim. You have an opportunity to learn how to better. There is always an opportunity around you if you know where to look. If you're open to yourself. Some of them maybe not great. Some maybe are great, but you don't know. My grandpa served in World War II on LST. I don't know what an LST is and couldn't swim. So like a liquid.
It's a landing craft.
Oh, okay, landing craft and couldn't swim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, glad he made it, but there are many people who can't swim and they may go to a beach and they can't. If they have kids, they don't go out there because they're like, I can't swim, and I can't save my kid if or family member if I go out there and swim. And that's the sucky part. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, no, thank you. I'm glad that those things have transferred over well because I mean, to be honest with you, we could do less with the more whatever it is and just talk to each other because we're all
Well,
pretty much in the same
mhm.
boat.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I
And just
really am an introvert.
Mhm.
I'm really an introvert. I'm not an extrovert type of
Out.
person. Just like a
Landing
landing
ship
craft.
take. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. And just like I'm not a morning person, but I had to force myself to be. But uh, this is my chance to be more extroverted. It's kind of funny. You have your on show, off show. It's like Johnny Carson. When Johnny was off the Tonight Show, he was completely different in the sense that you know uh, he liked to have his alone time.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I can agree with that. Yeah.
right. And I'm more comfortable. Like you said, nothing against Friday night tights or anything like that. They have a great show, but I can't follow. Just like you, I can't follow because there's just so many people, so much
Yeah. It's chaos.
chaos. I like to have these. Yeah, I like to have the more intimate. Where my belief is a panel should be no more than 6 people, no more.
Mhm.
If you get that big,
Again,
and it should be
it
with a
comes back to learning that lesson of having the big panels all
yeah,
the time,
Mhm.
having the big open panels all the
Yeah.
time.
right. hmm
I learned that
and
lesson. I had to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
mhm.
It
and
sometimes
which
sometimes you have to go through your own baptism of fire in order
right.
to again trial and error. Uh
Yeah.
what is it? Similar
Oh,
to
on radio, I had several trials and
yeah,
errors.
that's true.
Oh, trust me on that one.
Mhm.
And and when you're interviewing school kids that they bring in because they were special for some reason, because you're a community station type of thing, and try to keep them in line and stuff like that, or try to get them to talk. It helps you to do that gentle cattle prod to a guest to get them to talk. And you
Yeah.
just have to kind of know where to weave in and hit that nerve. And I'm not talking about the bad nerve, but just hit that one nerve where it's something that they might be passionate about, like, and get them going, and sit back and then interject when necessary. So radio is another thing that helped out with that. And I'd like to get back to doing my interview show sometime. I hope to, because it's just, again, fun to talk to people. And again, just about anything. Talk a little bit about their channel per se, but what their passions are outside of what YouTube. And that was my important thing. Talk to these YouTube streamers, and try not to focus on what they're doing on YouTube, but what are their passions? What to get a little bit more of that inside look at who they are, because that answers so many questions about why they are doing that. But if I was ever to interview William Shatner, two words would hardly ever be spoken, and that'd be Star Trek. I'd be asking because the man had more of a career than that, and what more can he tell you? But talk about his Twilight Zone appearance, and I'm not talking about the one where he's got the creature in the wing. I'm talking about the one where he's getting the fortune from the little devil box in the cafe and becomes obsessed. No one talks about that. Or his Barbary Coast, maybe T.J. Hooker. What inspired him to act? Who inspired him to direct? Because in his direction jobs and stuff like that. But Captain Kirk would not come up. Star Trek would not come up. And such like that, because that's how I view with fellow streamers out there, and what I was trying to do with the show. Who is this person, and what are they willing to share? You don't want to force them, but what are they willing to share? And which sometimes areas to stay away from, unless they bring it up, like family, religion, and politics. You stay away from that because people like to keep their life, private life, away from all of this. There's a legitimate fear of that with the crazies out there. But if they bring it up and start talking about stuff, like, okay, we'll go that direction, but I'll still keep it skirted and not point it on, going in and being in specifics. There we go.
Right.
Unless they go that way. And that's another thing about, again, watching all the talk shows, being on radio, doing several other things is, what. And yeah, it's a challenge. It's hard. But then again, you feel rewarded. If you don't have a challenge, if you don't have something to overcome in something, great. I get a participation trophy. Yippee skippy. I'd rather get the freaking crown and be called the king, baby.
Hold on to that horse. You may get that crown taken. But
yeah, exactly. Well, that's just it. And that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. It's like you're not stuffed today, but tomorrow you might be road apples.
Road apple. Crab
apples.
apples. Yeah, crab apples.
Road apples. Yeah, I used that the other day. Mike thought I was joking and said, "No, that was one of the nicknames for horse crap in the street, road apples."
Yeah, last week when we were watching Back to the Future Part 2 and 3, when we were specifically watching Part 3, Baron brings it up when Marty gets to 1885 Hill Valley and steps in the horse manure. And I'd never heard that expression before.
Yeah, I'm surprised considering that you liked Westerns,
Or as Colonel Potter would no wait. Yeah, it was Colonel
Potter.
Colonel Potter would say horse hockey. That's always a good one. But regardless, I'll answer that question that was brought up, and I use the restroom. So if you want to bring up that question that DJ asked about the sticky notes.
See, the bathroom part, we can send you an official Pacific414 Pop Talk P jug that's used by many streamers, so they don't have to leave.
I don't think I need to have that. The sticky notes. So for the context of that, one, I'm not monetizing YouTube, but I am monetizing Rumble. So when people send a Rumble rant, this is what happens right there. Right, send me a Rumble rant. That's what happens, and that goes on the wall behind me. And the situation with that was is like one part of it was someone came in and said, "Well, your wall looks kind of dull or whatever." Said some form of that, and I was like, "Well, I need to get color on my wall, but I also want to be able to, um, be able to give a thanks." And so I didn't really have an idea. But then I was stopping by a channel I used to watch. Don't watch them very much. I still follow them. I don't watch. There's a side scroll of a podcast, and in it, the main person, Craig, whenever someone gave a Rumble, a super chat or a gifted sub, whatever, he'd write it down in a post-it note and he put it on the wall. So I kind of borrowed the idea, but I don't have them like set to like a color. Like I don't have like 50 only goes to purple or 5 goes to blue or whatever. It's not set to thing. It's just I just wanted color. I mean, that's not even the whole of it. Like that's the whole of it right there. Like from there to there. That's the whole of it. And the ones right here, though, those are the organized ones. I'm trying to make I don't, give me 1 second. I'm trying to make a digital. And like I said before, I use Canva. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Take your sweet time, please. I appreciate. There we go. Let's see. Nope. Share screen. There we go. Yes. Don't show me again, please. Thank you. There we go. That's if you want to share that, Mike. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to take all those. I'm trying to create a digital version of the wall. There's those post-it notes are still going to go up on the wall, but they go through this wallpaper right here first. So that way there's a digital form of it rather than just a paper form of it, because it's just some paper could get lost or whatever because stickiness and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing with it. I'm taking all those post-it notes that are on the wall, and only the ones that are the organized ones, which are over here, over on this end right here where I'm pointing out with my finger. Those are the organized ones. Those are the ones that are already in the system. If you're makeable, someone has told me to make a mosaic of it, and I'm like, no, I'm just putting it up on the wall. But yeah, so these are the ones that have already been put on the wall right here, these points, but those ones over there and those over there have not, and also the ones like the ones right here I haven't put in the list either. So I'm gonna do that. There's gonna be a lot of things I may use my vacation time for doing stuff, but it'll allow me to catch up on things like right now. For my stuff on YouTube, at least because it's much easier to edit and stuff. I'll be going through my shorts and kind of updating them on the process I have that I've been doing. So like, I don't remember what the process was when I started putting up shorts or whatever, other than using Opus Clips to use the AI to kind of get that stuff. But now I'm trying to update like the hashtags and maybe the title if it doesn't work or stuff like this. Just making it more cleaner, I guess, and more in the discoverability. Because what would happen is I would use the same hashtags throughout each one of those shorts just to have something to get discoverability. So I'm trying to update that. And then I've done this other thing too, is where I use hashtags and tags before with my live stream. And then once the stream is done with that individual, I go through the transcription. What's the word? The transcript of that stream, and I have Claude go through it, and I have him find hashtags and stuff that would be in correlation with what happened within that stream. So that way things are in exactness with what happened within that stream instead of just like general tags. It's now more direct hashtags and tags. So again, like I said, I use the hashtag and tag system with the discoverability factor, but beyond that point, I don't like make the faces in the thumbnail or whatnot to get the attention. I just use the tagging system. So I'm just updating it as I go. But there are programs out there for that. But yeah. But
well, right now, a great way to keep things organized and keep track of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's good that you have that digitized because I could just imagine you laying in bed having a big, powerful sneeze and it'd be rained on by all those sticky notes.
I'd have to face the
Oh,
other way for that to happen. I'd have to face that way. I'd have to face that way. Oh my goodness. But anyway, all right. Well, now I'm going to use the rest of my way back.
Well, I was going to say it's all right.
What? No.
I was going to say
Yeah.
it's been great having you because I know you have to use the restroom, so I thought this would be the perfect time to go ahead and end it. But it's been great having you. If you wouldn't mind letting everybody who is here now and might see this later know what's coming up on your channel.
Oh, sure, yeah. Obviously, of course, thank you to Mike. He's posted the links. Of course, I just have one like link tree thing, but I understand the situation you were having. So, of course, you see the links. Those are my places I stream to. I do post my old shorts that I posted back in the day on YouTube. I do post them on TikTok, but I don't promote TikTok. It's just to have another place to archive the shorts, and only the shorts. I'm not gonna go live there. I'm just using it for the shorts. But like, yeah, you can see I'm on X. I mostly communicate through X, but I have other places to communicate through, like my email or my Discord, which is just a link to communication. I do not have a server. Do not ask. I've heard enough stories, and I only have so much mental bandwidth for that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can find my stuff there. Again, tomorrow, what is it? Oh yeah, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will have a gentleman on called DaraChat, who's sort of in relation to Ryan Roger Athe and his whole group. So he'll be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. But beyond that, after Friday, I will be off for pretty much a full week. I will be on another show next week, but that's just being on someone else's show. I will not be streaming. I will be posting shorts that I have. I have plenty of shorts to post, so I need a good excuse to post them. But beyond that point, I will be off next week, and then that's pretty much it. But yeah, I just do. It's called DaraChat. Tune into that. I just do DaraChat. It's just a free flowing conversational show. All you have to do is come as you are. That's it.
Very nice, very nice.
If you want an example, you could just ask Mike and be like, well, there was that time, and then there was that other time, and then he was like a pisser, and then that was pretty much it.
Well, there was that time back in 1941. I went on Dar's channel. We had gunfire everywhere.
That whippersnapper, I tell you what, that I remember him.
I want specifics. Tell me all the details of that one little stream that you did.
I remember.
Focus on you.
I was back when chocolate was being made into a chocolate bar.
But again, it's been great having you here, and I'm glad you got to get to know about Cash and Baron after I had mentioned them on this stream, and actually get a voice and a face for at least one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and then that kind of ruined him. That kind of ruined him when he was like, "Oh man, I can be seeing it." Then people like,
it was nature's way of saying, "Don't torture the guests. Don't torture the viewers."
You haven't even touched the surface. You haven't even touched the surface. There's no wrong way to go about it. Well, there is a wrong way to go about it, but no one needs to know about that. But no, regardless. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern with DaraChat. Once I'm done with this, I usually set up. So that's another thing too. Like quickly before to go, like this is one of the weird things I've ever seen. Not everyone, but there've been a chunk of content creators I've gone on the shows, right? So I've been on some other people's shows, and the one weirdest thing is that they don't put their guest link in their description, right? Like if you're inviting a guest on, just from my perspective, no one else has to do it, but it's been from my perspective. Like I invite guests on, and I put their links in my description because it's just a reasonable. They're giving me their time. I put my stuff in there, and it's there until ad infinitum, unless the links don't work anymore. That's not my fault. But I've been on other people's shows, and it's like they don't even put any of my links in. It's like they give you a time period to promote yourself. But it's like well, a link is just easier to just click and then go down that route, but they don't even do that. And it's just a weird thing. And another thing that's been weird is like I don't understand it, but it's like I set up my shows the day before because again I have a full-time job, so it takes to worry about having to set up tomorrow. And the person, whoever I invite on, gets their link into the studio because I use Rumble Studio the night before. So it's like they don't lose it. They're not begging for it. They're not asking for it. It's right there for them the day before. And else, a lot of content creators don't do that, and it's understandable. I understand. Life is yours. You're right. Stuff happens. But it's like you take away a whole bunch of stress if you know you're going to have a show. Like I know some people would cancel a show if their guest doesn't show up, but like if you know you're going to have a show and you already have you set up the day before, you don't have to worry about it. It's done. It's boom. It's out of your mind. But yeah, it's just been a weird thing, like from my perspective, we're seeing some of these creators like in that, and then having their guest links in their description. It's like, it's been weird too, right? Like a majority of the time, it's like, hey, here's this referral link to StreamYard. It's like, what? It's just like you get 10% off or something like. So that's more important than your guests' links to where their stuff is at, since you invited them on.
Yeah, and it's sad. And what's important to me is to make sure that one, the guest is comfortable their whole time that they're with us, because it's not just me talking with them, and it's Baron and Cash too.
Yo.
And also to make sure that when I have a guest on, that their links are in the chat.
Yeah.
Their links are in the description.
It's like I know there might be some people that are higher minded, like, oh, they expect something out of like, I'm gonna get paid for this, whatever. No. Someone is giving you their time, and the least you can do is not directly at you, but at the point of like, if you're gonna bring someone on, and they're giving you, if they're your friend and they don't care, that's fine, whatever you do, you think. But it's like you're bringing someone on, and you're giving them their time. The least you could do is put their links in your description. Like, it doesn't hurt anything. Like, if you're trying to sell something, if you're just trying to focus on your stuff, I get that. But if you're bringing someone on, you don't leave them out of it, because it's time you can't get back. And it's just a simple, small way of showing, like, you can't give them hundreds of dollars, but you can at least give them, like, here's your stuff. They can just click on it and go there and all that. Like, if it is like one of those situations where it's like found out to be like a bad person, right? Like a really bad person, and you want to take those links off, that's a executive decision. But like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
I look at it as a common courtesy thing. If they're willing to take time out of their day to join you, then the least you can do is put their links in there.
Yeah. I get if it's like that's why I prefer the Linktree stuff, because I used to do all those links, all that I had, and I put them in the description. Like, that's a lot of links. So Linktree takes care of that, but I understand some people don't do that, and that's fine.
Yeah,
it's just
and like I said, I've had times where I put the Linktree in there, and some of the links don't work, so I've resorted to putting the separate links in there.
Yeah, that sucks when that happens. But no, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, again, people don't listen to me about content creation. I don't know the best ways. I don't know how to get your video to 1,000 views or whatever. I don't know any of that stuff. I just do this thing because I enjoy it, and that's pretty much it. Views and all that stuff are secondary. But it's like, if you're bringing someone on, it's common courtesy just to put their links in your description. If you're just saving it for your stuff only, or because you want to keep it clean because it helps with the algorithm, okay. Whatever. You don't have to have me back on again. That's okay. My life will be lived just fine. If that's too much, if what I'm saying is too much of an issue for the individual. Sorry to clarify that.
And it's understandable. And I know during this particular period of time, we barely even scratched the surface, but that's why I'd always like to make sure that my guest knows that they're always welcome back.
Yeah, it's that's why I do too. I have people back on majority of the time, because many times, even though as the list grows longer, it's kind of makes it difficult because scheduling and all that sort of stuff. But that's what's always you can always have more the next time that same person is on, because there's always something to talk about. Even if you just bring something from 24/7 News, there's always something to talk about. And it's just it's unfathomable how much history we have and how much it just gets wasted. Like, oh, did you hear about what this person did today? It's like, I guess I don't know. And I like that Mike always tags. Yeah, I found a funny thing with like YouTube, right? With YouTube, if you're subscribed to that individual, it does make it easier to get their tag whenever you hook them up. Because I used to do hashtag if beforehand, but then I found out that if I know their tag on YouTube, then I could just at whatever the name and just it would be easy to find on the list. So that's why I try to follow back people on YouTube as well, is because it just makes it easier to at them on YouTube.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed that you do, I do, and other creators do it too, is after you've had a guest on, you thank that guest for being on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll
And
always.
I do strongly feel that it's important to thank the guest while
Mm.
they're on, and
Mm.
even after the show's, in the books.
Yeah. Even if the episode wasn't that great or the guest was very introvert or hard to get to talk or whatever, you're still gonna thank them anyway because it's just it's a general common courtesy. Even if you don't like the person or whatever, there's a civility towards things, right? There's a civility and a common courtesy, and if we can't have those, then we're a bunch of howler monkeys in the wind, and no one wants to stay up late at night listening to a bunch of howler monkeys. Like, tell them to shut up! Tell them to shut up! But yeah, those are just my small gripes and things. It's always been an interesting. I do my stuff different. I understand that, but just common courtesy. If they're gonna bring them on, just put their links in. If you don't like them, understandable. If you don't want to support them, that's fine. But yeah, I never get it.
Just do
And
it.
Baron and Cash, whichever one of you wants to go first. What is coming up for the cranky old fans?
Well, hopefully we'll get something going here soon. Cash and I are going to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of the videos that we had on Rumble will keep popping up over there. That's more into Cash's corner because it is his channel. I'm just the measly little co-host minion that runs around like
Minions.
Yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you say.
Follow me,
say,
minions.
Money.
Follow me.
Yes, master.
Yes,
Whatever you
very
say,
good.
master.
Master Money. What do you need now? So,
Minion.
But I'll have to leave that part up to him on there. But yeah, we're going to get together and definitely talk and get the show going again. Season 2 again. Just us two griping about stuff. Well, we're not really griping, but discussing a couple topics, and it can actually be anything out there. So, it could be pop culture related to anything. So you never know what to expect with the cranky old fans. Of course, tomorrow is on Jace's 540 Studios. He has The Beyond. That's right, The Beyond. It starts somewhere between 6 and 6:30 Central Standard Time. Why? Well, he's Norwegian, so we have to have. He's Norwegian.
Yeah.
So please join us over there at Jace Fox's 540 Studio for The Beyond.
Baron and I really don't like Jace. We just put up with him.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason's good. Jason's a good egg.
It's a contract thing. It's a contract thing. I'm forced to have to do it. I'm blackmailed. You found has pictures of me in a compromising position, so I have to, work over there. That's how Jace works.
If Jace was in the chat right now, he said, "Fuck you guys."
You're right. Yeah, he would. He would.
Fuck you.
I believe that. I believe so. Baron said that, and he just say a word in Norwegian, and just like, oh man, what did he say? I don't know. Is that a curse word? And he says it again. It's like, oh, dang it.
The thing is, Baron would know. Baron would understand.
I might. I'm not that good at norsk. I'm not good at norsk. Yeah, for America, snacky norsk, du är snacky English. I mean, I can see that.
Vidania.
That's Russian, my friend. That's Fredanya. And of course, when we go and we have toast, we say Nastrovia. Nastrovia. It's not a great word to have for a toast. Nastrovia.
Ah,
You
yeah.
too, Lady Mist.
Oh, yeah. Take care, Lady
You
Miss.
as well,
Have a good
Lady
one.
Miss. Thank you for being here.
But that's all I'm going to sit back and say right now. Things are in flux right now with my personal life. I know Mike has sat back and asked people to give thoughts, prayers, or my direction and my family's direction, and I do appreciate it. Please continue so, because I do believe in those things. Despite what snarky a-holes are out there that mock that, not understanding what true family and community is. And it humbles me. So yeah, just to let everybody know, I have not, I don't know if it's been mentioned or not, but my father's in a bad way right now, at home, and it's getting worse than better. The clock is ticking. We should sit back and say, and yeah, so and I did visit him yesterday, and he was pretty good, and it
That's
was
good.
but there's times when he's not so good. So
Right.
So just to let people know about that, that's why I like to sit back and say this place is my therapy. Take a little bit of a break. Josh, I know Mike walked into a chat that Cash and I had, where I can't remember what Cash was calling me at the time, and Mike's going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" It's like, no, 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 no. We've been going at this before you came into this call, but this really is helpful. It's just to continue on, kind of going, this is still life, and uh you do need, even though it's still on your mind, it's still worrisome on the soul.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you close up and
No.
and such like that, and that'd be a dishonor to people if you just kind of just stopped.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why at the end of Sunday's show, Baron, I just let everybody know that you had a family emergency, and that's why
Yeah.
you left, and I asked for people to pray for you and your
Yep.
family.
And I thank you for that. I do. Mike is a great friend.
Yeah.
Really, Mike and Cash are great friends. I really couldn't find two better friends to have here on YouTube, and they really do mean a lot to me. Yeah, even Cash.
Yeah, and even Baron, man. I mean, who knew? Who knew? We do shows together. It's crazy.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, we extend the torture for each other even off of this show. But that's the thing, though, is I do view them as brothers, and they can be the greatest friends I ever had, really. And like I said, this is, and of course, meeting you is a great honor. I appreciate it. Finding new people to talk with, and it's great having you on the show. And I have to thank you for being here and being such a putting up with my crap. Let's just say that I'm knowing for you, even though
you're
I toned
fine.
down. So
Don't worry about it.
yeah,
I just want to say quick that, like, I know a lot of people, when obviously a celebrity dies, you'll see, Twitter X or whatever, and you're like, oh no, all this stuff. I've always, whenever a celebrity has died or whatever, I've always gone to, like, George Harrison's song "All Things Must Pass Away," because it really is that song that is just, the truth is right there, and it really, all things. I mean, the wording is kind of all, I would think, all things pass away, but all things must pass away is the name of the song. So, but all the line of, like, sunrise doesn't last all morning. It's not gray all day. He just talks about stuff that doesn't last, and so it's just kind of a great reminder song. It's a very nice slow song. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, and thank you, Lady Mist. Thank you. That's very, very kind. Yeah, I mean, I think of Ecclesiastes 3. You have the song about the birds, turn, 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 which they took from that.
Yeah.
And everything there is a season. And a time and the purpose under the heavens. So, in a sense, that is giving you that fatalistic look where, yeah, everything's going to come to an end. This, what are you going to do? And this is going to be the roller coaster ride that you're going to have. And there's going to be a time for all this stuff until the end. So, I look at that, and like you're saying, My Guitar Gently Weeps. I like that song by George Harrison. So, but yeah, and in case there's some people might know who he is, he did make appearances on the YouTube itself on various channels. He called himself the Old Man. So if you remember the old man, anybody out there, that's who I'm talking about. So, but like I said, sadly, time's ticking. I don't like bringing this stuff forward because I don't want to make it into a pity party or stuff like that, or but
it's never.
I try to.
It's never a pity party when there's truth to it.
Right. And the fact that I do view the viewers out there as my family as well. We have such a great group of chat people out there. I'm so happy and pleased when I see all of them show up, even DJ Ronnie G, that nerd. Just kidding, DJ. I like you a lot too. But it's just, just to share that thing and explain why certain things are happening so they know. But I just generally don't bring stuff out about my personal life in that aspect because I don't want to drag people down. And it's like, what do you care if I had 2 bowel movements or not today? It's like, no, it's, but this, kind of an important thing I figured that's worth bringing forward, especially the turbulent years I've had, right, Mike?
Yes, definitely the turbulent years that you and the long suffering have both had these last few years. And again, Baron, that's why I wanted to come with you and ask your permission first before just running my mouth. And
and
it's and I never think poorly if that's done, because
as I've told you before, Baron, it's out of respect for you.
Right. Yep. And I know that too. So but when certain people say things, I know it doesn't bother me because I know they're doing it the right way. It's not whatnot. So, but even through all this, as you can see, I'm still Baron, and you just still gotta sail your path, no matter how much life's a piece of shit when you look at it. So always look on the bright side of life. But that's my spiel, folks. And again, great meeting you, Dara. Dara. Yeah, if I can say the words right. So that's my spiel, everybody.
What about you, Cashmoney007 of the Phantom Hooligans? We can't say Hooligans because it's not October.
I'll say Hooligans. He scares me.
Well, right now. Yeah, that's right. The Booligans. Yes, Baron's scary, man. I don't know. Sometimes you have to.
No, Baron's Baron.
Check under your bed and check the closets and see if there's a Baron in there.
Careful. Okay, you just earned.
Oh no!
Today, great day. I make great day for great communism. I'm dear leader. No. Let's enjoy. You enjoy mandatory.
You brought it upon yourself, Cash.
I did.
Now you tell us what you have online there for great glorious North Korea. TPRK. I'm lonely, so very lonely.
Lonely. I'm so lonely. And that's hilarious. Yes. So, what's coming up? Well, right now I've just been working offline. I'm trying to beat this boss, but in this game Tunic. So I haven't been recently. I've been looking at some things, but Mike and I have to. Well, let's see. What the heck is shit? Thanksgiving is coming up. So yeah. Well, the cranky old fans, of course, with the Phantom Hooligans, and then. I think after Thanksgiving, probably after Thanksgiving
After Thanksgiving, what?
We should.
After Thanksgiving, what?
We'll. I guess we could exclude Baron. No, I'm kidding. But we'll go and either play Space Marine 2 on a Friday, or we can do Evil West, so that should be Thanksgiving.
Oh,
my friend, we've been waiting to.
I think the Emperor's been getting impatient. So yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Don't make him wait.
I think I might upset the Emperor. I might start having dreams of the Emperor trying to kill me. So
you have to take care of the great Emperor of mankind. You're just like your leader. Or this happens.
Poor dear leader, man. Just,
God, Baron. So sometimes, Dara, we have to poke and prod Cash.
That just sounds wrong, guys. Really, you don't need to.
Well, he's the younger of the two of us.
Well, it's just. I don't like talking, Daria. I don't like talking about stuff too much with the channel always because if it's not concrete. So it's just things have been up and down and this and that. Before it was like things were going in a better direction, and then family stuff happened, and it's like, oh fuck.
That's understandable. No,
I wanted to tell all my family. I wanted to tell all my family. I said, no, screw you. Screw you. It's time to stream. I don't care what you say, but I can't do that.
But what if I said since the beginning, Cash? Since the beginning when you and Darren came on. Family comes first.
I know it does. I'm not going to be a jackass, but I could be like most people. Hey!
Well, you also said you're fired too, but you're still here.
That's what I said to you, Baron. Keep showing Kim Jong-un on Kim Jong-ilio.
Be respectful to your leader.
Shut up, dear leader.
I just wanted to make the point. Mike said the older two of you, and I was like, that's weird to have two older guys, kind of double team on one young guy. That's kind of weird.
Cash is only a couple years younger than us.
Well, that's
younger than me, I should say.
Younger than Mike. Yeah.
Baron's the bigger brother. I'm the middle brother. Cash is the little brother, so
there you go. That's much
basically
better.
Pile everything on him. So that this is your responsibility, not ours.
So if this was a TV show of brothers, that means Cash is gay. Okay.
I can't remember. Was one of them?
It's the youngest.
I thought it was just. That's right. The youngest one was. Yeah, that was a really good show. It's too bad it didn't go on that long, but
Well, it did go on for a good few seasons. Just gotta find it somewhere,
Yeah. Okay. What is it? 5 seasons or something?
Maybe 4, 5, maybe.
That's still pretty good, though. Still 4 seasons, 5 seasons, pretty good.
But I don't think there were 20 episode seasons. So,
no.
But because it was on Showtime. So.
Okay.
Well, along with the Gary Shandling show. This is a theme to Gary.
That was a really good show too. It's hard to find these things now, Baron. You bring that up. It's hard to find this stuff, man. It really is some of this stuff.
But you know what? We better wrap this up before Dara.
Before it turns into another 8-hour episode of Pop Talk.
That's right. He's gotta go, man. But yeah, there's some excitement coming up. I'm looking forward to finally doing the Cranky Old Fans, and then after that, we have to talk about the War Room and stuff. We get stuff done. So where we're gonna have a lot of guests, and we probably like to have you on as well, man, if you'd like to be a guest. So, that'll be in the future, though, not that far in the future.
And you'll just reach out because again, I start reaching out to people a week or two before the new month, and my days start get eaten up quick. So. That's always like if you like I'm open to being on someone else's show, but you have to get to me before I fill my calendar.
Of course.
That's no problem. We work with people.
Yes.
Because I've done like being on someone else's show and then doing my show.
Yeah.
Kind of not interested in doing that because that's just a lot of energy. So it's best of one show per day.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I used to do 2 or 3.
Anything else, Cash?
No, that's all right now.
All right. Now, before I promote what's coming up on the channel, I do, of course, want to thank our special guest for joining us this evening and taking time out of your day to be a part of Pacific414 Pop Talk and let everybody know what you're doing.
Bravo! Encore! No, you're welcome.
I don't mind having you back.
Yeah, it was funny because we set it up after my show was done. I was like, oh yeah, well I do this show, and it's like, oh yeah, one one would just be great. Well, let's just do that, and that got it over quick, to be honest. So there's that. But
Well,
no,
I thought, okay, I'm going to take a chance. What's the worst Dara's going to say to me? No, you got to take that chance.
take a chance on me. On me. Take a chance on me.
I know that song.
I don't.
Great
Hey,
song.
I only know some ABBA stuff, right? Don't ask.
Super Trooper.
That's not
But
even.
again, thank you, brother, for joining us this evening. Of course, I also want to take the time to thank Chet Sparks for joining us this evening. Shane, also known as You're Wrong. Well, of course we're wrong. We're not you. We're never
No.
you.
But if I'm saying you're wrong, then I can just point to him and saying you're wrong. Exactly. That's the
Well,
confusing
you're
part.
wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
And
Don't
of
tell
course,
me.
But he's no
DJ
Captain
Ronnie G.
Phil.
Yeah. DJ Ronnie G, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. And then, of course,
Nerd.
she's Baron's better half, but also she's Cash's #1 fan. The
Aw.
long-suffering Miss Tag.
Oh,
She is. She likes Cash more than me. I wish I could
Wow.
say I was joking.
only question is, does she make good chocolate chip cookies? That's the only real
No.
question, Mr. Bass. Oh well, never mind. Too
She's
late.
not a good cook. She's not a good cook. So she knows how when she cooks corn dogs, it's hot on the outside and still frozen on the inside.
That's a miracle in itself, right there.
Oh, she's
And
done it.
Baron's
I
going to be
experienced
sleeping
it.
in the dog
He
pit tonight.
is. He is. Wow.
No, I'm not. She even says that to people. She tells people that.
And of course, Jason Fox of 540 Studio. Thank you, Jace, for being here.
Norwegian.
And the lovely Lady Mist. Thank you, Lady Mist. Really appreciate you being here. Woolby, glad to see you tonight. Hope you're doing well, brother. And FKHC 2005. But you know what?
There are some who call me Tim.
Good to see you here tonight, Tim. And also Tree Rock Creations. Thank you, Tree Rock. Glad to see you here. Hope you get to see the rest of my Half-Life stream. You know, watching the newbie play Half-Life. Yeah. Yeah. It was
Wouldn't
interesting.
that be a full life?
Hey, it's a matter of perspective, Baron. It's a matter of perspective.
Oh, glass
man.
half full, glass half empty. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I'm about to have an empty glass. All right. I'm just saying.
But as far as what's coming up on the channel for YouTube and Rumble tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, I'll be playing more Black Myth Wukong. So I'll be playing that for a few hours. And then the only other thing coming up on the channel will be Saturday's member stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern for all channel members.
Ooh.
So after that, there won't be any live streams all in next week. I am taking a break. I do have some shorts ready, a couple of videos. I have to talk to Baron and Cash about recording an episode of Pop Talk for you all for sometime next week. And yeah, and really, I just need a break. Starting to get close to that burnout period. It's like, no, you've been here before. Don't get there again. You need to take a break. You need to step away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the only thing I ask for is please wash your shorts before you air them.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna do it. He wants me to do it. He wants me to do it, Dara. He's pushing my buttons. He's all, come on. Will this make Mike kick me out? Will this make Mike kick me out? Because our running gag here is whenever some of us say something and somebody considers it out of line in a joking way, is we boot them off.
Mm-hmm. Boot them off like the mafia. Hey, yo, Tony said you're out.
Like I showed you that help, I'm being repressed clip from Monty Python. You know, Baron will play that if I boot him out. It's like, oh, all right, Baron, take a shower.
How can you trust how do you get a soul? How do you trust a soulful governance right there? How's that work?
But again, I appreciate Likes doing that too. He likes doing that too. But everybody, thank you for being here. I hope you have a great night. Please follow and subscribe to Dara's channel and watch his content. I highly recommend it. And until next time, everybody, remember 2 things on this channel. Don't ever give up on me in a game, because just when you do, you might miss something. And I'm not just a baseball guy. I'm an all-around guy. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Autobots, transform and roll out.